I actually need to.
All right, stream is up.
The fuck?
I just realized that my mute was on my headset, but I'm good. I'm back.
There we go. Okay, I was wondering what the fuck was going on there. All right. So the two of you, Shadek and Lucky, have just joined the Silvered Shield. Wallace is showing all around, and you are speaking with Donnie Yondel, the weapons master, at the front counter, and he informs you that behind the counter is it's a medium, like it's a good sized wall filled with different papers and job tickets. There's also a quartermaster for any of y'all's basic needs. If y'all need to purchase anything at severely discounted prices, you can, or there's some items that you could just get, like if you just needed basic weapons, go see the quartermaster. And there's also Lydia. She's a healer of sorts. There's a study if y'all want to go into the study. What would y'all like to do first?
So I want to ask if there's. Oh, I guess I'll do this in character. Are there Donnie? Was that your name?
Yes.
Are there any supplies or any sort of weaponry that might be exclusive to members of your order? Perhaps any rare materials or armor?
What is it that you're trying to ask exactly? Like, are you
Basically,
asking
what can I
him?
get here that I can't get anywhere else?
Oh, you can get just about anything through the guild.
Yeah, but I'm wanting to know the the specialty stuff, the stuff that you can't get just anywhere. If they have anything unique.
Um, yeah. Oh fuck, what's his name? Just had to ask me that. So, if you go and speak to damn it,
Leopold?
what was? Yeah, I think. Yeah, Leo Leopold. If you go and speak with Leo Leopold, he actually has an office on the main floor, and you could possibly go and get something from him.
I see. And what sort of specialty supplies might he have in stock?
He normally handles the magical items for the guild.
Interesting.
I assume that's what you're looking for.
Either that or any unique gadgetry or devices, but that is one of the things I was inquiring as to, yes.
I'll show him where his office is.
Yeah. So Leo is right behind y'all, sitting at a table with Darius and Luke, the quartermaster. Which y'all were just talking to them. And I know that was Anders, but yeah, so you're there at the office, and Leo's in there.
Leo, my man. So I need you to. I got these two new recruits. They I guess they want some magical shit from your ass.
I hold my hand out. Shadek Ironhide, at your service.
That's
He
the
kind
loud one.
of, Leo just kind of looks at you, kind of weird, and he just, yeah, Shadek, we just talked yesterday. I just gave you that scroll.
Oh, scratch that.
Yeah,
That's
this is the same guy y'all
that
just
guy.
talked to.
That guy. The guy I got the scroll of Zone of Truth from. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, this is the same
Yes,
guy.
Leo, I remember you. Anything new in stock, my friend? Forgive my oversight.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, we have a bunch of stuff in stock right now. For guild members only, if that's what you're asking about.
That would be what I'm inquiring as to.
So, he pulls out these. He takes y'all over to this machine, and it looks like a slot machine kind of thing, and he hands y'all 3 tokens, and he tells you that these tokens are given once a guild member achieves something or does something to give credit to the guild, and it gives them a free magical item from the machine.
I would very much like to give that a try.
Now,
So what did I do? Apparently I did something good. Oh, okay.
no
And
reason.
he kind of
Just
puts it in the pouch.
needs. I just want to test it out to see if it works.
Okay. I kind of put my coin in and pull the lever real quick.
It's yeah. Roll a d20.
This is Elder Scrolls.
Hold on.
I can't. Oh my god, dude! I can't figure out where I put my fucking chart.
All right. Well, it's a natural 1 in this instance.
Woohoo! Big ass 1.
No,
I'm doing it hot tonight, guys.
no, it doesn't. It doesn't matter if you roll a 1 or not.
I hope to God we don't go into combat tonight, because from that roll, it's gonna be fun.
I would like
No,
to attack Valis.
it doesn't matter.
Oh, please do. You will die.
Dude,
I pull up my pistol and I shoot Valis in the face. I'm kidding. I don't actually do that.
you know, we were just. I'm sorry, guys. We just went through this when it was just the 3 of us, and Brandon went off and did something else. And I had the spreadsheet up, and we were just going over this stuff, man. Because this is where y'all. It's my spreadsheet that had that stuff that y'all bought.
The stuff that we bought.
Yeah, you know, the nitpicker.
Oh yeah, and I put
and
some.
all
I put a
that
bunch of
stuff.
money down on some things too.
Yeah. I don't know where.
I have that in notes. I can check.
Yeah, I don't know where that spreadsheet is.
I
It
think
should
I
be in
might have
my.
put something down on like a cloak of displacement. I don't know if I have what everybody else put down. I know what I put down. Well, I don't know it, but it's here.
This is gonna drive me insane. My bad, guys. I just had it up a minute ago, earlier today.
At the very, I don't know if I put everybody else. That maybe we'll be lucky, and I put other people's stuff down in this too.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, look, cool. I think the only thing that Zorlin put down was his swords, but he already picked that shit up.
Okay, so, I'm not sure what this is pertaining to, but I put down 110 gold deposit from Shadek and a 10 gold deposit from Zorlin. Not sure what that would have been down on. But I can tell you I did put 1,600 gold down for some armor at Leopold's. Don't know what kind of armor it was, but I have in my notes armor. And then I put 1,500 gold towards a cloak of displacement.
Okay.
I don't know what kind of armor I put 600 gold down towards, but I must have really liked it to put 1,600 gold on it.
Yeah, you must have.
So I imagine if you were to look in his inventory for his shop and see some kind of leather armor, that would be a safe bet. That's probably what I put my gold down on.
He had a bunch of different armors. He has like the cloak of the manta ray. He's got a
This
armor
says
of
armor.
resistance. It was probably the armor of resistance. But
Might have
okay,
been. It's
well
some light armor.
I can't find my Excel spreadsheet that has to deal with the machine. So when you put your coin in and you pulled the handle, it just went ka-chunk, and then it just got stuck.
Hey, Leopold, fix your machine.
I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on with it. Anyways, is there anything else I can help you with? See, this is why we have test runs.
Yeah, I'd like to
I get that.
buy some armor if I could.
Well, I normally deal with enchanted and magical weapons and trinkets and stuff. If you want some armor, there's the quartermaster Luke.
I'll just make my way there eventually then.
What kind of armor are you looking for?
I just need a breastplate.
Oh, just like a regular breastplate?
Just like a regular breastplate.
Oh yeah, you can just go grab one from Luke.
Oh, you're going medium armor instead of light?
My dex is actually so low, it'll actually raise my AC.
What's your dex is lucky, like 17?
Yeah.
Ah,
So my
okay.
AC
Once
right
it
now is
gets up to, like,
15,
20, you're
but
not gonna need that.
with the breastplate, it'll go up to 16.
Okay. So, Leopold, tell me, and of course this would be to your benefit as well, as it would give us more coin to spend at your glorious shop. But have you heard word about any particular interesting contracts or missions that we might partake? I'm anxious to get out in the field at being a new member.
Yeah, there's if you go back and talk to Donnie, he's the one that handles the mission board, typically. But I heard of several different ones. There's a problem with some drow up to the north of here. We went there several months ago, but an incident occurred with a group, and they kind of kicked us out for a while. But we just recently got some more contracts, and they really want us to heavily partake in their affairs. That's the main army that is hiring us, the High King's army. So that one sounded pretty interesting. Then I think someone else just posted one yesterday about something's going on at the Frozen Peaks, to the southeast of here. That's something about like strange creatures coming off the mountain. So that's another one that's kind of piqued my
Strange
interest at least.
creatures.
Yeah,
Interesting.
you know, like there was a rumor of like some yetis in a city south of the mountain. It was real weird.
Fuck. They're
Lucky,
cold.
this seems right up your alley.
I could be enthused.
I know you recently had a hunting trip. Care for another?
No, you know, I'm not one to turn down a hunting trip.
Oh man, we're going in the cold again. Fuck. Let's go back to where it was warm. Y'all really want to go play with the cold things? Really? Why can't we go deal with the drought? Maybe I can talk to them.
I just figured that going after some sort of beast would play more towards Lucky's skill set. That is all.
I guess so. Well, y'all aren't equipped for the cold right now, besides maybe the furry one. So.
Oh, I'm very equipped for the cold.
You should probably get some more cloaks.
Tony, would I know whether or not Yetis are more sentient or intelligent, or would they be more beast-like? Would I know?
Yeah, you could. You would know that Yetis tend to be pretty, uh, like Neanderthals kind of creatures.
So
Like,
low level intelligence, but not animals.
yeah, they're not a. You know that some giants have high levels of intelligence, but Yetis not so much. Brandon, what did you roll when you put that coin in? A one.
A 1.
Okay.
Did the machine start working?
Or did Tony find his notes, you mean?
Yeah, I found them.
Like I said, did the machine just all of a sudden like spit out this magical item?
It sucked in your coin like a hungry prostitute and shot out an item.
No. It was a delayed reaction.
Yeah.
It took a minute for it to charge up real quick. It had to think and process that coin, man. If I get something shitty because of the 1, and this thing is taking forever, I'm gonna be mad.
Do you guys want to know something funny? I've been looking for my watch for like a month, not knowing where it is, and I found it today, sitting on my nightstand.
So after talking to Leo for a second, you hear the machine just kind of grind, and then you see like a ball just shoot out the side of the machine, and it flies across the room and impales itself into part of the wall, and then it cracks
So
open.
it's like a very aggressive, like Stevie B's buffet, like coin machine that has the little capsules.
Yeah, and then Leo runs over to the little capsule ball and opens it up, pulls it out of the wall, opens it up, and there's an egg inside of it. And he walks over and hands you the egg.
Which is
And then
miraculously fine after it's shot out and slammed into a wall.
How big is this egg?
it's about the size of a normal egg. It just has like these gray spots on it, and it kind of glitters with like a silver, and it has a silver chain attached to it, and it kind of has like this gold glitter that's speckled all around it.
What is
And then
this?
he tells you, it's a necklace. Come over here to my book. And he goes over to like this little podium station off to the side. He's like, egg, and he's flipping through the book, egg. Oh, this is a lucky egg. Twice a day, you can kiss the egg, and your fate may be changed.
Awesome.
It says it recharges the fate recharges with the first light of a new sun. So yeah, I guess the machine's working. If somebody else wants to try it out,
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Awesome.
Let's roll a d20.
and tell me what number you got.
12.
12. Okay, so I'm gonna let y'all know that these items are placed randomly, 1 through 20. So it doesn't matter if you roll a 1 or a 20. They're spread throughout. A 12. So a drawer pops open at the bottom of the machine, and you see the same kind of capsule come out. And he walks over and tells you to pick it up and open it up, and let's see what you got.
I wish, man.
What? Wish what?
But I could use the egg for the Braves.
So when y'all pop open this capsule, there's a small circular bracelet inside. And he's like, bracer. Okay, cool. So he runs over to his book and he starts thumbing through it. And he says, this is a band of projected thought. The wearer can communicate telepathically with one other creature they can see within 30 feet. Upon choosing the creature, the wearer can communicate with the chosen creature from any distance without having to see them after the link has been initiated. This effect is lost on the original creature when a next target is chosen.
This arcane terminology is fascinating.
Is it a two-way street on communication, or is it I can talk to one person, but they can't talk back?
I would assume it's two-way since this bracelet allows you to basically communicate with somebody.
All right, you got an amulet of telepathy.
You got a two-way radio.
Well, that's cool.
You already have speaking stones, but they're verbal. And he looks
So-
over at you, Shadek, and he's like, "And would you?"
I would absolutely like to give it a try.
All right, so Gavin, we hit on this a little bit. Which class is it that you're trying to go for? I know you're a gunfighter, but did you say you wanted to run from the ranger stat block, or like which list
What do
did
you
want me
mean?
to use? These are items specific to classes. So did you want to run off with a fighter or the ranger or the rogue? Which class did you want to pick from for your character since you're doing the gunslinger? And a lot of the fighter stuff is like swords and shields, and a paladin stuff is swords and shields and stuff, and armor, like heavy armor and all kinds of
I
other
would
things.
think either ranger or rogue could be beneficial to me. I just need good light armor.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna flip a coin, and that's the one that I'm gonna pick. Heads for rangers, tails for rogues.
Okay.
No, that's a tail.
So tails for rogues.
All right.
All right.
So
That
go
works.
ahead.
Because they always run tail and they always turn tail and run.
All right. So go ahead and do your roll.
10.
10. So
Do you have one of these blocks for every class in the game?
I don't have one for artificer, and I don't have one for mystic. It's just the basic original ones. So the same drawer that popped open for Lucky's, you hear the machine click a couple times, and then that drawer pops open again with the same color capsule as Valis. And then you and
So is
Leo.
mine for rogue?
No, you and
My-
Leo open it up, and it's the same. It's the same egg.
So
Necklace.
I got an egg too.
It's the only item that's in every one of the class branches.
It's just in different numbers.
Huh.
You're using warlock. You're using warlock for mine, aren't you?
Which one has the egg? Yeah.
Or do you have a list for blood hunters too?
No, I don't have a list for blood hunters either. I just did the
fine.
warlock one because
It's
he
fine
is
if you
part
do warlock.
warlock and he does a lot of warlock spells. So there's a
Gotcha.
lot of there's a couple items in the warlock thing that allow there's graphs of spell storing, and then there's a warlock rod, stuff like that in the warlock tree. So yeah, you have the same egg that he has. It's a necklace. And what you do is every day, twice a day, you can kiss the egg twice to give yourself to change your fate, or a chance to change your fate.
Does that amount to like a luck point, or
Yes,
I'm
it's
just trying to
essentially the
understand on
same
how to.
thing. It's the same thing as the luck feature, just with 2 points, not 3.
And I can do that every day.
At dawn.
Cool. Okay. So I can it's just like rolling using a luck point then. Like if I have an attack roll,
Yeah.
for example, that I don't like, I can
Egg
kick.
point.
Does it take a bonus action or interact or anything to kiss
No.
the egg?
No, it's a free action. You can do it just as well as you can do it. Use the luck points.
Okay.
And now
That's cool.
there is so many items on this list that I have not added them. So if y'all would like to add them to your inventory yourself, go for it. Or I can
So-
just add them later.
I got a lucky egg.
Yep.
I'm going to use
lucky
that.
egg.
Oh, and I also, what did I get? The what's the little guard gnome that is overcritical?
The nitpicker.
Yeah, I got the nitpicker.
Yeah, I found my my Excel spreadsheets. They're actually in my Google Drive under my D&D folder, not in my D&D folder on my desktop. So
You know, nitpicker
that's real
almost
smart.
sounds like it would be like a racial slur.
Well, you
That's
know
all I'm
what,
going to
Gavin?
say about that.
You know what, Gavin? You're a nitpicker.
I am
Yeah.
deeply offended.
You're welcome.
And then Leo also suggests, or he states, so I also have this jar of bees. They're magical. Would any of you like to buy it?
Sure.
What do the bees do? Color me
Um,
interested.
So you could probably throw this jar at an enemy, or like through a window, maybe around a corner to create some kind of distraction, or you can just be an idiot and drop it on the ground and you get stung like a shit ton of times. It's literally a jar full of bees.
You said
How
it's magical
much
though.
for the jar? Do the
Well,
bees
hold on.
require?
How is it magical? Does it produce honey?
Yes, it does.
How am I supposed to extract the honey?
That's for you to find out.
Without my hand swelling up to
Look,
the
it's
size of a
literally
ship post.
it's literally a jar full of bees. I had a bee problem. I put the bees in a jar. Now they're in a jar, and I really don't
And
want to put them on the
now
side of the
they're
street somewhere.
miraculously magic bees.
Look, you want to buy the bees or not? Okay,
I would like. How many jars of bees do you have?
I got one.
Valis, rock paper scissors.
Take the damn jar.
Because see, the way I play rock paper scissors is D4, D6, D8, and then you count, and a D4 is rock, a D6 is paper, and a D8 is scissors. So
Okay, so
Just
look,
take the damn jar.
according to guild bylines, it has to be sold. So I will sell it to you for 1 silver.
Just take the damn jar.
5 copper.
Deal.
Fuck.
He hands you the jar of bees.
All right, can I have 5 copper back, please? As I hand him 1
I
silver.
don't. Yeah, he's like, no. I'll give you 5 copper off of your next item because I don't keep copper change.
Yes, it does seem to be a sort of dead currency. I can't remember the last time I saw a copper piece. Literally,
Wait,
the last time I ever saw a copper piece. I don't remember.
Is there anything magical I could get for y'all? Now, I am limited here at the guild, but if y'all want to swing by my shop, I offer 25% off.
So
I'll be glad to go by your shop. You know I'm always looking for the newest and greatest and biggest and baddest things in
Yeah,
markets.
you weren't there when they went. He's got like a shit ton of stuff, so.
in the meantime, I look over at Lucky. Care for a hunting trip? I would much look forward to going on some sort of adventure, trying out our newfound status within the Silver Shield.
Shadek, is it?
I'm
You
all
don't-
for a hunting trip.
You don't seem very dressed for the cold. We should probably go get
Hey,
something.
I'm
for
wearing
you.
a big ass like trench coat. Just this is out of character. Just reminding you.
Yes, I know. He's still looking at you going, I'm pretty sure you're going to want something a little bit warmer than your trench coat. As
So-
he kind of puts his hood up and walks out the door.
So, Lucky, you still have the boots of Winterland, right?
I do.
Okay, so you're good.
The last doesn't have anything for the cold. He's going to go
So-
get some shit for the cold.
I
So-
guess I'll do the same. So tell me, Leopold, is there any way I could trade in this? Not trade in because I still wish to keep it, but a similar style cloak, as you can see me wearing now, as I point to my long black Matrix-like trench coat, for something in a similar style, but maybe more fur.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I can give you a. So y'all are gonna try and go up the Frosted Peaks?
That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
Well, look, I have 3 cloaks that offer cold resistance. They help you out with the cold elements, but you'll have to promise to bring me back something worthwhile.
How about a fur pelt from a Yeti?
No. Well, if you find something interesting or magical, just bring it back to me, and consider these robes on loan.
How much would they cost normally?
That's a good question.
How much would they?
Let's
You
say
tell me
like
how much they
1,000 gold normally.
for all 3 of them.
No, each.
Jeez.
But I'll put them on loan for y'all. Just promise if you find something interesting or magical in nature, just bring it back to me, and I'll loan you all 3 one of these cloaks.
And suppose when we arrive back, if I would like to keep the item that we found, could I just pay you the 1,000 gold, and we call it even?
Well, it would be 750 because you're you're a guild member, so
Well then
25%.
750.
Yeah, if you wanted to.
I shall take that deal.
We'll see how things go.
All right, so Shadek he goes over to one of his, like, there's a side room in his office, and it's like a storage room where he has a bunch of his items to sell to the guild members, and he pulls out 3 cloaks. They're like these green, like a dark green, kind of almost looks exactly like Lucky's cloak, but they have this fur liner on the inside, and he hands them all to you.
Does
all
this
3 of
look
you.
like something I could wear over my duster, or would I probably need to take the duster off?
No, it's a full size cloak. It's a huge cloak. Like,
Do
you
you
could
have one in
probably
black?
turn this cloak into like a tent or something.
Do you have one in black?
He goes back and he brings back out a tan one, a sage one, a
Purple?
a purple one, a gray one, a black one, a blue one. Which one do you want?
I think I'll take the purple one.
I want the
Yeah.
black one.
Yeah, okay. So you got a black one, he's got a purple one. Lucky?
I'm good. I can just make my cloak turn whatever color I want to.
Oh yeah, I forgot that you changed cloaks and got the cloak of many fashions.
But thank you.
All right. Is that everything? Y'all need anything else?
I think we're good.
I
Just
never got my
don't forget the
breastplate.
money that I left with you.
So I need to go speak with Luke.
Good. Yeah, Valis can show you exactly where Luke is.
Oh,
His
also,
office.
Leo, I know you said you had magical weapons. Remind me, I'm sorry if I asked you this before, but do you have any magical arrows at all?
No, I typically sell those off to John for his private selection. I really am. I don't like a whole lot of competition. I can make some for the guild, but they get bought up pretty quick. If you come back, like, let me go run to my shop tonight, whenever I get done here, and meet up with me first thing in the morning. Before y'all head, at least send me before y'all head out, and I'll try and get some. How's that?
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
So I wouldn't know if you would possibly have any raw ore or ingots that I've heard, though I'm not certain, but I have heard rumors of enchanted metal that can be used for the forging of magical weapons and armor. But I'm not sure how much truth there is behind it. Would you confirm or deny the existence of such a thing? And if so, would you have any?
I can confirm, yes. Like mithril ore is it's extremely rare. Like, there
But is
hasn't
it
been a
magical?
it is, I would say yes, it is.
At
So
this time,
is
Blast is going to pull out his pipe, pack it, light it, and just sit there and then start making smoke rings.
now there's a bunch of different types of metals. Like, if you go to the Underdark, you can find star metal and sin metal, which are 2 different ones.
Ching, ching, ching. He kind of like hits the metal and goes,
Then you can also find adamantium. That's a type of enchanted metal, or it's easily enchantable. Mithril is easily enchantable as well. It's not magical in nature, but it can be enchanted fairly easy.
What about any metal that might be infused with the elements?
I
'Cause I've heard, though I do not know if this is true, that there is a such thing as magical ore itself.
in all honesty, Shadek, I'd be the wrong person to ask that. I just deal in the
Shadek.
arcane nature. I don't really study
Shadek.
geology.
If you want stuff like that, there's a perfect place where I could take you. It's in the Underdark. Have you ever heard of Black Market Sale?
Tony, have you ever heard of that?
What? You
Black
kind of cut out on me.
the black market.
No, Shadek, maybe a little bit. Like you've heard of people selling and trading with drow, and they call it the black market. It's kind of like a racist thing, but you're not familiar with it.
I can probably get us into the Underdark to go find some black market trading if you're looking for stuff like that. It comes at a price, but usually if you want stuff like that, that's where we're gonna find it.
Good to know. I shall possibly take you up on that offer.
Oh, just to let you know, you being a tiefling and all, you won't stick out as much as the tobacco, but it'll be fun. We might die, or y'all might die. As he kind of like walks out the room, smoking his pipe.
I follow Velas.
So, Lucky, do you have anything else to say to Leo?
No, I'm good.
All right, you follow them.
I'll be
So-
honest, I'm just kind of trying to rush it to the thing because I'm actually looking forward to some kind of adventure arc. Those are my favorite.
When you go down the stair, when you leave Leo's, you go. Valis takes you to the staircase that leads downstairs. In the stair, you hear very Shadek. You feel like this euphoria of home as you just smell coal and steel being smelted. You hear a hammer tinking against an anvil, and the heat down here feels great to you. Like it feels like you're back in a forge. As you go down, it's a big open room, and you can see adjacent places on either side. One is a forge, another one's a storage room, and it's set up like there's a counter in the middle. That's a big circle counter, and you see Luke in the middle. And behind Luke is actually like a training ground. There's a sand pit. There's dummies. There's all kinds of stuff down here.
Well, I'll be damned. All right. Do I know if I'd have some time to work on anything?
Yeah, if you wanted to work on something, yeah.
I look for a nice empty forge and pull out which I at this point is literally nothing but a metal tube, but what I've made so far towards my rifle. I'm gonna start working on the body.
Okay. Yeah, there is one other person in here, but there is several access ports to the forge, and yeah, you kind of just walk in like, "Hey, you using this?" And he's just no. And so yeah, you got a full setup in there.
And is there any like metal scraps or any raw ore that I can work with?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
You can do it, and plus all the stuff that you've gotten that Lucky has in his bag of holding, and all that stuff, you can definitely make it work.
So I'm gonna hammer out some ore, fold it over, and start working on that body.
All right, Lucky.
I'm gonna go track down Luke.
Now he's right there in the center. You just want the breastplate?
Yeah, pretty much.
So he's like, all right, come on over here, and when I get to the breastplate, right on over here. And he just walks off to
He's
the
from
side room, and
Louisiana.
he grabs a breastplate. He walks into like this storage room that on one side of the wall is just filled with weapons, probably about 40, 50 feet back. There is just, you see hundreds of swords, axes, javelins, tritons, pikes, like every weapon you can imagine is on one side. And the other side, it goes a little deeper into the room on the right side, and down like one side you see a bunch of suits of armor set up. You see a bunch of breastplates, greaves, gauntlets, all kinds of things, and you see a bunch of robes and cloaks down here. He just walks over to a mannequin and pulls a breastplate off and hands it to you. I'm gonna need you to sign that for that.
Okay.
And he holds out like a clipboard and he writes breastplate. He hands it over to you. He just points at an X right underneath.
I will write my symbol of an L on a cloud.
All right, and he walks back to his counter. And in this, so he kind of like leaves you in the storage room, and you can find just about anything you need. Like you see these 3 giant reels that just have, looks like they could hold thousands of feet of rope. You see one that has just a reel full of chain, one that's a reel full of rope, and then another one that's just like wire, like thread.
I mean,
And
is
then
it
there's
just like a giant thing of it? Just ton of rope?
yeah, just huge reels. Like, you ever seen those reels on the side of the road that has like
Yeah,
cable
I got
wrapped
you.
around it?
Yeah.
They lay,
I
yeah,
get what you're
they're
talking
just
about.
like those. They're massive. So, like, if you needed like 200 feet of rope, you could easily come here and get it.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna be climbing a mountain, probably, maybe. I don't know. So we might need some rope. So, you know what? Let me ask Luke if I can get just basic like mountain climbing type of material, like rope, spikes, pittons, that sort of thing.
So you see him as he walks away from you. He sits down in his chair, and when you turn around and like call for him, he just, oh God, and you tell him what you need, and he just casually walks over to a shelf on one of the walls and grabs a couple pair of boots that have spikes on the bottom of it. So how many do you need?
I don't. Who else coming on this little adventure? I'm kind of. Well, I don't know. Is anybody else still around?
Yeah.
Nope, the last walk off.
You see Shadek across the way in the forge.
Yo, Shadek.
I'm buried in my hammering.
All right. I will walk up to be within 30 feet of Shadek, and then I will point my new bracelet at him, and I get it like linked to him, and then I'll talk in his head. Yo, Shadek.
What the hell? You're in my head. Hello, Lucky.
Beware. Hey, what do you think we're gonna need supply-wise for going and hunting yetis? I was thinking like some mountain climbing stuff.
I would definitely think some climbing gear would come in handy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I can climb pretty well, but I didn't know who else was coming with this and how much supplies we're gonna need.
I personally have a grappling hook. I feel like I'm okay in that regard, but the drow, I'm not sure what sort of equipment he has.
You sure you don't want to
He
at
may
least have some
benefit.
boots to be able to walk, without slipping? Grappling hook's one thing.
May not hurt.
Alright,
Yes,
well,
I suppose that could be useful.
yeah, let's get 2 sets of boots then. I should be good, but we'll get this stuff for you guys.
Would you possibly mind getting those boots for me? I can pay you for it when you arrive back. I'm working on something.
Yeah, sure thing, sure thing.
Well, thank you very much, Lucky. And perhaps, it may not hurt for me to have a set of climbing gear as well. If my grappling hook is to ever malfunction or not be adequate.
All right. Yeah, I'll go talk to Luke, see what he can whip up.
Appreciate it.
So there should be an item in both of y'all's inventory. I just went ahead and added it. It's called the Climber's Kit. The kit includes special pittons, boot tips, gloves, and a harness. You can use the Climber's Kit as an action to anchor yourself. When you do, you can't fall more than 25 feet from the point where you're anchored, and you can't climb more than 25 feet away from the point without undoing the anchor. Is that what y'all need?
Yeah,
yeah.
that sounds
Pretty
good.
And that's I don't think that Brandon saw this, but Brandon, tell me if you can click on that shops list right there,
Hold on.
and then if y'all can save that down in your like one of your macro bars down at the bottom, and that's actually in general packs and supplies. And for what's down here, you can basically grab just about anything you want. If it's a big item piece, then you're gonna need to sign off on it. But Luke just hands you these climber kits. You know, he gets you the boots, he gets you these spikes and like these little claw hammers to hit them in.
Okay, it's saying that the module you are attempting to use is not loaded.
Oh, you'll have to go to the library to load it. It's called TA01 Seller Shop.
Okay.
I think I have that one activated. Uh,
Yeah, I thought I downloaded most of this shit.
It's fairly new. I only recently added it like a couple weeks ago during one of our last when you weren't here. I added it, but yeah, it shows a list of shops and everything and common goods. Um, Lucky, did we add the breastplate to your inventory yet? Did you do that or no?
No, not yet.
Okay, let me go ahead and add that in here. Okay. I just added it to your inventory.
So most of the stuff I have to like sign off on.
No. No. Big supplies you would have to sign off on. Like if you wanted weapons and armaments.
What about a
Yeah.
mount?
No. There's the ignore stables
Damn it.
and ignore arcane supplies. Because that's stuff that you're gonna get from Leo. But I mean, anytime you come back to the guild, you could just say that that's what you want, and like just pop that thing up and be like, hey, arcane supplies, this is what I need, and then or general supplies, this is what I need, and just you can do it yourself. All you'll have to do is just open it up, and it opens up a parcel,
So
and
what if
then
we
just
wanted something from the stables?
I mean, you could buy something from the stables, yeah.
Okay.
It's just the reason why I say ignore the stables is because you'll have to pay for that stuff yourself. So,
Gotcha.
but if you really wanted it, you can click on one of the green pins and it opens a parcel. Grab the head of the parcel, not the item, and drop that in your inventory, and that's what you pay for.
Gotcha.
So the stables is the only thing you're actually going to have to pay for here at the guild.
Gotcha.
Everything else can just come as it goes. All right. So y'all want to go check out the message board?
yes.
I thought
Yes.
we were gonna go play with Yetis.
Well, I think that's where we get that mission from.
Yeah, you would get it from Donnie at the front counter. So y'all get back up to the counter and y'all ask Donnie for the paperwork on the frozen peaks, and he turns around and looks for it for a second, and it has a gold stamp on it. And he says, "Oh, what a coincidence! This requires gold membership minimum to take this job." And he hands it over to you, and it's like 2 sheets of paper in his hand. They're pretty big sheets of parchment. And he tells you, so basically, there's been a lot of strange sightings. So the nearby villages have pitched in 1,000 gold to send adventurers up the mountain to see what's going on. Just crazy things are happening up there, and the nearby villages just want some protection. One village had a Yeti claim. They claimed that it was in their sewers, and a party of adventurers came through and killed it. Um, then there's other just regional tribes around the mountain that's been claiming all kinds of weird stuff. and other animals coming out, and so. But yeah, it's it'll take 2 days walk to get to the base of the mountain. It'll take a good day's ride to get to the base of the mountain if you're gonna take horse or carriage.
Okay.
I mean, I prefer to take horses out there if we can. Also,
Yeah.
before we leave, just curious. I know we dropped off some stuff to get custom weaponry and stuff done, like my bow. Like, how much longer do we
Mhm.
have on that?
Are you asking Tony or Donnie? If you're
Tony?
asking Tony, I think that y'all have 1 week left.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it'd
Wait,
be
1 week left until what?
your enchanted items are done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll just say 1 week. I I know it hasn't been 3 weeks, but I'll just say minimum of 1 week. I think it's
Uh,
actually only been like 4 days, maybe, or like a week. But anyways, what's up?
uh, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Do y'all have everything you need to go? When are y'all leaving?
I'm about to buy a freaking goddamn warhorse. Fuck y'all, motherfucker. Nah,
Well,
I'm
that's what I was
kidding. I'm not
saying.
buying
I'd like to get horses for us to go.
If y'all want, we can arrange a carriage to take y'all to the bottom of the mountain, wherever y'all want to go, and that way, I mean, what are you just gonna leave the horse at the bottom of the mountain?
I mean, we need transport back too. I thought this
Oh,
was a town we're going to.
yeah. Well, if you want to go to the town, or if y'all, I apologize. I wasn't sure if y'all wanted to just go to the bottom of the mountain or go to a town.
Well, I thought it was there was a yeti in the sewer of the town,
Yeah,
which is
well,
kind of what we're dealing with.
that's what the city claimed. They said,
Okay.
like, how weird would that be? There was a yeti in a sewer.
Right, but I figured we'd probably go to the town, leave the horses there, and then we could use the horses to be able to come back after the fact. We'd probably just put them in, a stable.
Okay.
That was my
All
thought
right.
mentality.
Yeah. So he takes a paper and he searches through it and he's like, yeah, okay. So the town's name is Thendlebrook. Um so yeah, yeah, we can, I think there's if you want, I can arrange a carriage to take y'all to Thendlebrook, and I know the perfect people to do that. I got some really good friends that actually do a lot of that work. They basically have like a chauffeur service kind of thing, if that's what y'all want, or if y'all want horses, there's probably a stables at the city you can take. Is that what you're looking for, Lucky?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Well, I mean, which one do you want? You want to take a carriage or?
Yeah, I guess we can take a carriage. That'd be. I'm okay
I
with
mean,
a carriage if you guys are good with a carriage.
Whatever.
so we actually recently hired a like chauffeur service to get back and forth between different towns. So we're kind of starting that up. Um, so there are these like two guys, kind of weird. Their name is Goran and Gorik, and they're brothers. So, but they're good people. Y'all, when do y'all want to leave? I can probably get in touch with Goran tonight.
We'll leave it
Um,
done. We'll leave the break as soon as this day comes. First light. We'll leave.
So first thing in the morning.
Okay. So, is there anything else that y'all want to do today in Tarsus before y'all head out first thing in the morning?
Yeah. Since we're there with the training and everything like that, I'd probably just go back to working on uh my leather working since like we're kind of there.
Okay.
Practice on that.
And then Shadik, you're gonna finish doing your thing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna work on that till it's time to go to sleep.
Okay.
I'm gonna go talk to myself.
All right. Yeah. So there is a cafeteria in here, and it costs 1 silver. Every time you come up, you could eat as much as you want. You just put 1 silver in the little tip jar. I don't expect y'all to actually deduct it, but it's from your inventory and it's not that important. But yeah, it's just 1 silver. You can eat as much food as you want, and then another silver. You can drink as much ale as you want, ale or wine. And but yeah, so if let me see, if each one of y'all want to put 10 points down for whatever kind of training you're doing, just go ahead and put that down, and then the night passes pretty uneventfully. No one really bothers y'all as y'all are doing y'all's training. It's pretty big enough area. Shadek, you see a bunch of people coming through, like polishing their weapons, sharpening their weapons, knocking dents out of their armor, and no one bothers you either. Lucky, you see some other people come in and train, and so morning comes, and Donnie comes and approaches y'all's rooms and knocks on the door and tells you that Goran and Garrick are outside awaiting y'all for departure. Right after breakfast because they're downstairs eating.
Since I get my spells and everything back, since we're rested and whatnot, I'm going to one put on my new armor, and then I'm gonna take out my ring of spell storing that is completely tapped, and I'm gonna go ahead and cast a couple spells into it.
Okay.
I'm gonna do let's see, we'll do Pass Without a Trace. That's my level 2. We'll do a Cure Wounds at level 2.
Okay. And that's all 5, right? Pass
No,
Without
that's
Trace is
2 and
3?
2.
Oh,
No, Pass
okay.
Without a Trace is level 2.
Okay.
And then I'll do a Hunter's Mark.
All right.
Yep.
Surprised you don't put 2 Pass Without a Trace in there.
Yeah, I figure one's good enough for now. Right now. Wanted to have some healing.
All right. So, are y'all gonna eat breakfast?
Oh yeah.
All right. So as y'all enter into the cafeteria, Lucky, you see 2 very familiar faces. You see a halfling and an orc, Goran and Garrick, same people that delivered you from Thindlebrook to Middleton all those months ago.
Hey Gorn. Hey Garrick.
They kind of wave at y'all, and you must be the crew that we're taking to Thindlebrook.
Hey Tony, just want to let you know for breakfast, Shadek is literally just having eggs, but like a lot of eggs.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what he's having for breakfast.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Sounds pretty healthy, hearty. I like it. All right, so when do y'all want to leave? Right after breakfast? Sound good to y'all?
Soon as
For me.
possible.
All right.
As a
Well,
little drop of like yolk drips from my mouth. Yeah, after breakfast.
all right. Well,
I'm literally
Goran,
Velas is gonna grab a plate and walk to the carriage.
all right. Garrett grabs his giant plate of food, the half orc, and he gets up and follows you with you and leads you to the carriage. He just has a plate full of bacon, like it's like a mountain of bacon. That's it.
And I'm gonna carry my plate that's a mountain of eggs to the carriage with me.
Oh, y'all didn't have to follow me. Y'all could have stayed there and ate.
Lucky Goran just looks over at you and he's like, "Oh, they're kind of impatient. Can't even enjoy a good breakfast."
It's shameful.
And he drinks from his glass of milk. Gotta keep the bones hearty.
Oh, there's milk? Yeah, I would have had a big glass of milk then. I'd take that. Like, you get a big stein of it.
I would have that too.
I would not.
So,
This literally sounds like a breakfast that I would have in real life. Just a fuck ton of eggs and some milk.
joke's on y'all. It's goat's milk.
I like goat's milk.
Oh,
So joke's back on you, Tony.
From what I hear from a Good Mythical Morning video, donkey milk is pretty delicious too. I would probably drink some donkey milk.
so double joke's on y'all. It's actually skin milk imitated as goat's milk.
I immediately vomit.
Why you gotta ruin milk
Alright.
for Lucky?
So y'all get in the carriage with Gorn and Garrick, and then y'all all ready?
Yeah, yeah, I'm good to go.
All right. So right as y'all are taking off, Lucky, you see like another halfling come running up beside the carriage with a quiver in his hand, and he kind of just tosses it up through the window to you, and Leo just waves goodbye. And it has 10 arrows in it.
Oh yeah, we're supposed to check in with him. That was the thing. Thanks, Leo.
All right, see you when you come back. Bring you something nice. And you'll start to take off. So I don't want to get bogged down with all the night routines and everything. So just to kind of, for expediency, I'm going to say these next 2 days go pretty uneventfully, pretty rocky road in this carriage. And it's familiar to you, Lucky. There is seats above the carriage, and there's like a ladder, like a step that you can go around to the ladder, so you can sit up top. And there's also 6 seats inside.
I would just bounce around all over the place.
And just back and forth.
Yep.
Now you do see Gorn and Garrick up in the front, and there's a bar seat. You see them sitting in there, and every now and then one will get up and move to the top of the carriage, and he'll take a nap, and they'll swap back and forth. When y'all get to Thendlebrook, it's about closer to the evening of the 3rd day, and it took 2 full days of travel to get here, and about more like midday to get here. Sun's just directly above. It's a very homey town. There's not huge buildings like in Tarsus. It's pretty wide open city, and it's very familiar to you, Lucky. You've been here, Shadek. You've traveled through this town once before. Right? No, you've
Wait,
you've
no,
been
I
here quite
haven't. That
often.
would have been Sano.
No, you've been here before. Your
Oh,
uncle
that's
lives here.
right. Yeah, who I would definitely like to go see. Old, what's his name? Something Ironhide.
Clyde.
Clyde Ironhide. I would definitely love to go see old Clyde Ironhide.
Yeah, so the carriage pulls up right in front of the Knight's Inn, and there's the stables off to the side. And Garrick tells y'all, well, this is our stop.
Quick question. Since it's been a few days coming down here, like I do have books, so I probably would have read that. Like I've got a book on fiendish lore that I would have studied. Can I
Yeah,
put any points
go
towards
ahead.
that?
Yeah, go ahead and put 20 points towards it. 10 points for each day that you are trying to do something.
Okie doke.
I don't suppose there was a forge on that carriage.
Unfortunately not.
Yeah, I would think not.
Ugh.
All right. So y'all are in Thendlebrook. You can clearly see the mountain in the background of this village, and it is very tall, probably about a mile out from the village. There's very tall oak trees, and they go probably about halfway up the mountain, and then everything higher than that is just white. And it's pretty sunny down here. You could tell that it's probably going to take about a day's hike, if not a couple days, to get to where the snow part is on the mountain.
I imagine we would all have some kind of camping gear.
Yeah, y'all do.
Okay.
And for let me see, there has to be some type of adventuring camping gear in the packs and kits, packs and bags. Do y'all see like an adventurer's gear or something in there?
I see I have bedrolls. I don't know if I have a tent.
There's
Um,
bedrolls. There's like a 2-man tent in there. I think I grabbed a 2-man tent before I left.
I mean, if you guys want, we don't have to worry about that.
That's right. We have like a collapsible house, essentially.
Yeah. That's up to y'all. So y'all are in Thendlebrook.
I would like to go see. What was my uncle's name again?
Clyde.
Yeah, I would like to go see old Uncle Clyde.
Yeah, you know his forge is just right around the corner.
Yeah. So I knock on the door and I just say, "Excuse me, I ordered some armor the other day, but it's not quite functional. I believe you made it in the shape of a banana hammock."
Sorry, you said that right when I was taking a bite of my ham sandwich. So you see this dwarf turn around and he just gives you this crazy eye and just stares at you. Boy, what do you want?
I just wished to come see my favorite uncle. I was in town. I couldn't pass by without saying hello.
Your favorite uncle or your only uncle?
Ah, well, is there a difference, really?
Well, it's
How are you
good to
doing,
see him
uncle?
nonetheless. And he walks up and gives you a huge hug, and you see him. He's probably looks about the same as he did the last time you saw him, however many years have passed, and you see that he still has only one arm, and his second arm is about halfway down his forearm. Has like a hammer attached to it. And he gives you a big, strong hug, and it's been in such a long time, boy.
Indeed, it has. You've heard about what happened to Mina. I
Yeah,
assume.
I've heard the rumors. I've received a couple of your letters from your father.
How is he doing? I haven't seen him in some time.
From the letters, he's doing well.
That's very good to hear. His health was a little touch and go there for a while.
Yeah, he told me the other day he went for a 2-mile run down the city streets.
Sounds like my father.
Yeah, doubtful. Anyways, how can I help you? What brings you through this little homey town?
Well, I actually just recently joined. Well, I'm a mercenary now. I joined the Silver Shield. I'm just passing through on the
His
way to a
When you
mission.
say that, his like face just gets grim. Oh, the Silver Shield. Hmm. So you're a mercenary, huh? Left your family, just ditched them off to seek adventure.
You know I would not have done that, Uncle, if I didn't have a choice.
I understand.
But in the meantime, I have to, I have to eat. I figured this would afford me the opportunity to travel, and keep an ear to the ground, to possibly help my family in some way.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I remember when I used to be an adventurer, but then he kind of points at his arm. It's an old life now.
Well, hopefully I'm not met with a similar fate as my reason for retiring. But make no mistake, Uncle, my family is on my mind every day, and I think about them constantly.
So, Lucky, are you there with him too?
He could have followed me if he wanted to.
Yeah, I got nowhere else really to be, so sure.
And
Touchy,
I would have
touchy.
I would have introduced him. I also would at this point would probably say, and by the way, Uncle, this is a friend of mine who I've met in my travels. His name is Lucky Cloud.
Hey, how's it going?
Velas is just gonna kind of be like in the corner, kind of like just foot propped up against the wall.
Well, if your friend's a Shadok, then I guess you're friends of mine. And he walks over to a table, and he pulls out, or not like a desk, and he pulls out this. It's a large bottle, and he pulls out 4 cups, and he kind of puts a little splash of liquid in each one. And he raises up 1 cup. Come, take one, friends.
And I'm sure he would notice the general wince that I have whenever I pick up the cup, as
It-
There's certain parts of my dwarven heritage that I did not inherit.
So you would know that your uncle drinks heavily on dwarven spirits, which is a very, very potent drink. It's like drinking Everclear. It's extremely potent.
Yeah, and I would wince even harder.
Just smelling it burns your nose hairs. And he just says, "Drink up," and he throws his cup back.
Yeah, when I'll grab the cup, and then as he throws his back, I'm just gonna like throw the cup back, but like throw the liquid like behind my face. I don't drink it.
I attempt to.
So yeah, it burns going down, and your like throat. It's one of those burns where it like still resonates with you. Your mouth is hot, your throat's hot, your
And
stomach's
I'm
hot.
visibly distressed by it as well.
Yeah, the drow's just gonna kind of pop open a freaking a water skin and drink his drow elven freaking drink and pop it back in and put it back on his hip and
I hand the cup back to my uncle and I just say, just how I remember it.
And he says, And as you go to hand out the cup, he snatches up the bottle and fills your cup up again. A little bit more than last time, and he picks up the second cup and he's like, "Well, I guess if your friend isn't going to drink," and he throws it back. Throws back the second cup.
Did he put any in mine too?
Yeah, he did. He filled yours back up.
Alright,
They're little
Uncle,
cups, like little shot glasses.
This is gonna have to be my last one. I need to keep my wits about me. You understand?
Oh, it's a family reunion.
I'm gonna sleight of hand Shadix drink and give him the elven wine instead of the dwarven spirits.
How are you swapping them out in the cup though?
No, like he's gonna have he's gonna take the cup and just sloop.
Now Clyde just snatched that cup up. When he saw you didn't drink, he snatched up the extra cup.
Oh.
So,
pull out a cup out of his-
anyways,
I begrudgingly pound it back.
so I take it that y'all are going to be staying at Theodore's across the street.
Likely so. But if I'm intruding, I apologize. But I was thinking, Uncle, since we don't get to see each other very often, that perhaps at least I could stay with you for the night.
That sounds fine with me. What about you, Tabaxi? Clucky?
Clucky. It's lucky.
Oh, that's what I said.
Eh. There's a forge here, right? Is that?
Yeah, it like literally half
Like
of the building
10
is a
feet behind
forge.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll find a place to sleep around here. I'll be okay.
All right. And what about you, Shady One, in the corner? Will you be staying in the forge tonight?
He doesn't talk much.
So,
I don't
Lucky.
know these two as well as they know each other, so I would take
Well-
it of me intruding.
So, okay.
Well, have you ever heard of dwarven hospitality, Velas?
I'll tell you what. You can sleep in the forge if you want, but I do have a couch and guest bedrooms in the house, which is right next door.
I
Sounds
would
a
assume
little
that's where
bit-
I would have. That's where I was meaning whenever I said staying with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured that. But it's nice and toasty in the forge, and it is definitely cold outside. Like winter has come.
Winter is coming.
I'll stay in the forge, it's fine. I'll throw up a hammock or something somewhere. I'll find a place to rest.
Well, I guess if two people are gonna stay in the forge tonight, then won't have to lock up. Y'all can just take out whoever comes through. If somebody tries to steal.
I'm pretty sure I can handle that.
He
Can
like
do.
walks out. Oh, what's that, Lucky?
Said can do.
He like walks out right outside the forge area, And he kind of flips over a sign that says closed and walks back and kind of opens up his side door to his house. He's like, well, if y'all want to come in, I'm just about to start prepping some dinner.
Sure.
What is dwarven cuisine like in your setting, Tony?
Dwarven cuisine?
Yeah.
Meat and potatoes.
Yeah, meat and potatoes.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking. Okay.
But here, I mean, you could definitely tell, like, your uncle definitely has a sweet tooth. Like, there is a couple pie trays, and then, like, a pie, a couple different pies sitting on his counter. And he's got one of those new refrigerators that speaks to him. And no, I'm just joking.
I wouldn't discount that. My uncle, he's good at more than with a forge. His cuisine is not bad.
And,
I guess I could do for a bite to eat. Something
just-
that's not dried rations.
well, I just picked up some fresh vegetables down from the market this morning. It's gonna have me a nice huge pot of stew. Farmer told me that he killed a huge stag this morning, and I bought about 5 pounds worth of meat, some potatoes, and some vegetables. Got some spices from the mountain dwarves. So
Sounds good to me.
there's like a little kitchen area. You could tell that his stove is directly attached to the forge on the other side of the
Uses
wall.
the same
and-
heat.
Yeah, he's a conservative. Like, he conserves.
Conservationist.
Yeah, conservationist. You know, helps forge his house, and you can tell that there's like this chimney kind of thing that sprouts out a little bit from the oven and it goes down. It's like stone, and it looks like almost like a stone pipe that runs through the house, like through the center of the house, and it spreads off into the bedrooms, and it actually goes to the fireplaces and it goes up from the side. And if you were to lean down and kind of touch it, it is warm to the touch, and so his house stays pretty warm on the inside. It's almost like a little bit uncomfortable. And in the living room, you see this giant, like, axe that's hanging on the wall. It's a battle axe, but it's pretty massive, and it's got a hammer on one side and a axe blade on the other.
I would know about this weapon of his, right?
Probably would have heard about it. It's just something that he's recently finished.
Yeah. So I would comment and say, Uncle Clyde, that's a rather nice piece there. Is that a recent project?
It is. I call it the Dawn Hammer. I
Interesting.
model it off of the Dawn Father. And
know, Uncle-
reorcs.
Oh, sorry, what was he saying?
Oh, and reorcs, that's it.
Okay. So, Uncle, I've recently been doing some forging of my own, and I highly encourage you to keep this quiet. But I've actually invented a new form of weapon.
Let me see it. I am the best master blacksmith of the family. I could tell you the quality.
I pull out my pistol and I point at the trigger and say, "See that little thing right there? You know what? Just to avoid any unpleasant accidents, and I'll go ahead and unload it to where there's no bullets in it, and hand it to him."
He kind of looks it over and he checks it out and he gives it a good nod. He says, I can assume what this is for, but the metal is shit.
I didn't have access to the best resources when I was making it, but I made the best of what I had. It's similar, I guess you would say, in functionality to that of a hand crossbow, but it fires small metal projectiles faster than the eye can trace, using black powder as a bit of a sort of an accelerant to propel these projectiles.
Sounds simple enough.
I'm rather fond of it. I've put in some practice with it.
So
Sure is loud though.
I bet if he's using black powder. So he is done with the stew, and he makes a bunch of bowls, and he actually, when he sets up the bowls, and just like how he set up the drinks outside, they're in a line, and he poured each drink himself. He pours each bowl all the way up to the top for each of you, and he says, "Please just sit where you would like and
And you guys have never
enjoy."
seen Shadek do this, as typically whenever he eats, it's at a more conservative pace. I chow down when I get this bowl. And it tastes like family.
Yeah,
I go
it's pretty good.
I go sit down where there's like an actual table and
Yeah, there is.
slowly. I just sit at the table and just slowly eat.
It's pretty good. Big chunks of onions, big chunks of potatoes, big chunks of beef. The beef tastes a little stringy, but it is game. Like he told you, it's stag, so it's pretty gamey.
I think
Lucky,
that'd be venison, I think.
yeah,
Anyway.
yeah, venison's still game. Um, so y'all want to just rest here the night and leave first thing in the morning?
Yeah, I definitely get a second bowl from him.
Okay.
Like I don't stop eating till I can't eat another bite.
So he shows y'all there is multiple rooms in this house. There isn't enough for all of y'all to have a guest room. There's only 2 guest rooms, but there is a couch and stuff like that. And so when y'all go to sleep at night, Shadek, in the middle of the night, he knocks on your door and asks if you're awake, like in the middle of the night.
Okay. I imagine I would have been close to dozing off, but yes, Uncle, I'm still awake.
He just says, now I know he in his hand he's holding a small box, and he says, I know that you're working hard. I know I read the letters from your father multiple times, and I think you should have this. And he hands you this box.
What is
Make
it?
make a masterpiece. Your father's made masterpiece. I've made masterpieces. It's about time you make one, and you need the right metal.
I open the box.
So when you, it's not an ornate box. The box actually looks like some shitty wood, and it's extremely old. Like there's parts chipping off. But when you open it up, there's like this purple velvet cushion on the inside, and the box weighs like it's like a pound maybe for the whole box. And there's just this bright blue ingot inside of the box.
Do I recognize the metal?
Yeah, you definitely recognize it as mithril. Just an ingot of mithril.
This is mithril.
Aye.
I can't thank you enough for this, Uncle.
Yeah, don't think me. Just make a masterpiece.
I've
Let me see it.
I'll tell you, I've been working on that firearm that I showed you earlier. I've been wanting to build a larger version of it, and I think this could work. Because in fact, one of the concerns I had was this weapon being too heavy. But if I were to use mithril in part of its construction, that can cut down on the weight a good bit.
Aye. We'll get to sleep, young lass, and I'll see you off in the morning.
Absolutely.
He
Sleep well,
turns-
Uncle.
He waves you good night, turns and leaves. So Lucky, don't
Yep.
forget, but your bond is almost permanent with your bracelet.
Okay.
I just wanted to put that in there. That until you change targets, that it is constantly attached as long as they're on the same plane of existence as you.
So, Tony, would you say this is a large mithril ingot?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's a small one.
So it is
I was just
1
wanting to know how to
pound.
put it in my inventory.
So it is 1 pound, but when you put down in the description, put down 5 pounds worth of mithril, not 5 pounds of mithril. Make sure it says worth of mithril.
Because mithril's about a fifth of the weight of steel.
Yeah.
Okay.
And adamantium is twice the weight of steel.
Yeah.
It's a lot heavier. All right, so
I would like to do one thing here before I
Yeah.
go off to bed. I want to take a look at the arrows that Leo gave me. Do I know what kind of arrows they were?
So they're not wood shafts. They're like this pearly material, like smooth bore material for the shaft. Not really sure what material it's made out of. And the feathers are red, and the arrow tips are yellow. So they look
recognize
really weird.
Okay.
But as inspecting the arrows, when you pull them all out, a note falls out of the quiver, and it reads, "Lucky. In case I don't get the chance to tell you, these arrows are enchanted with speed, agility, and some of my own wit. Simply aim it at a target and fire, and you will almost never miss your target."
Nice.
So for these 10 arrows, put down they have a +2 to hit.
But not damage. Just attack
Yeah,
rolls,
right.
not damage rolls.
Yes, just attack rolls, not damage.
Okay.
Oh, hey Tony.
Yeah.
Did you ever figure out what my double-bladed scimitar does? Because I know we were discussing that.
Yeah. Hold on one second. For these arrows, put range just 600. There is no minimum range for these arrows. So whatever the maximum range for your longbow is the just straight range for these arrows. So they don't get disadvantage.
For someone with sharpshooter, it would just be the same, right?
Oh yeah. If you have you have sharpshooter, don't you?
Yep.
Oh yeah, okay. But then, yeah, it wouldn't matter for you. But yeah, the range when these arrows fire, there is no minimum range for them.
That's cool.
For your double-bladed scimitar, did you grab the Revenant blade?
Yeah.
Oh wait, you're talking about your curse, right?
Well, no. I'm talking about we talked about my double-bladed scimitar doing something special because of when I don't know if you were waiting or not, but because of the other two, because Zorlin went and got paid for his shit but never got it. I went and paid the gold for my 2 swords to be enchanted. We were gonna put something on the double-bladed scimitar.
Yeah, I think you chose the Sin Metal instead of a weapon, though.
I did, but we talked about doing something for my scimitars because Zorlin paid for the enchantments, the 3rd level enchantments for his 2 swords, and you weren't gonna just leave me with a regular double-bladed scimitar.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll let me get back with you after the session about that, and so that way we can, we'll deal with that after the session. So that's something we can talk about later. All right. So is there anything else y'all want to do tonight or today?
I would probably just read my book a little bit more, but that's about it.
All right. 10 more points for Gryffindor.
Cool.
Man, I'm Slytherin house.
I don't care.
But no, I just would have gone straight to sleep after talking to my uncle. I would have probably laid in bed for like 5 or 10 minutes, just flicked the box open, looked at the ore, flicked it closed, and then flicked it back open and just done that for like 10 minutes before I finally gave in to sleep.
So Morning comes early. You all wake up to the smell of food being cooked, breakfast being prepared for you, and it smells heavenly. Also, a fresh pie, cherry, because it's the best. And yeah, so he greets y'all, and then you hear a knock on the door, and he goes and he opens the door, and in walks a red tiefling. He's dressed in very ornate gear, like in nobility clothing, and he looks at the three of you and he says, "Ah, you must be the three mercenaries from the Silver Shield."
That's us.
Another. I assume you would be our contact.
Yes, that would be me. I am the mayor of this town. So please. I apologize. What's that?
Hi.
Hello.
And he's just gonna go back to eating, like completely ignoring him.
So,
I'm having a conversation with him with a mouthful of pie.
right. So my name is Lord Fenris. Fenris Greyhorn.
Fenris or Fenris?
Fenris.
I think he
F-E-N?
says finesse. I think he says finesse. What do you do
Anyway.
finesse? See?
Anyways, I'm the one that helped put up the money out of my own personal pocket to settle the rumors surrounding scary creatures and monsters around the mountains. Now, Gorik came. I saw him at the tavern last night, and he informed me that y'all were in. And that y'all were staying here. Because he says that y'all walked in and didn't leave, so he assumed that y'all would be here for the night. So is there any questions of me before y'all leave? Any of the rumors?
Yeah. What can you tell us about these monsters?
They're monsters. Some claimed yetis, some claimed some type of white wolves. There was a town to the north that was attacked by large bestial man wolves or some nonsense.
So
Anyways,
the question is, if they're real, do you want us to kill them?
yes,
Yeah.
indefinitely. Kill anything that you see that is unnatural. Any monsters you think would bring harm to the villagers if they were to come down here. Yes,
If
that's what you kill.
there's nothing there. If this is all just a hoax.
Then you come back and inform the town people that it's a hoax and they have nothing to fear.
Can we do both?
Well, if you've killed everything, then there's nothing to fear now, is there?
Still say it's a hoax.
Yes.
Just curiosity. If you could point us in the direction of where we need to head to, that'd be favorable. But we've gathered some mountain climbing supplies and whatnot. But do you think there's anything else we might need before we start our venture out from here?
Yes. So, one of the biggest things is one of the rumors going around is supposedly there's a castle at the top of the mountain. I would suggest going to investigate this at the top of the mountain and seeing if it's true.
Half payment up front.
No, that's not how the guild works. I've already paid the guild, and they should have already paid you however much on when y'all arrive.
Well, we haven't gotten paid yet. I haven't seen gold in my hand yet.
Well, y'all are members of the guild, so that is not my problem. I've already paid the guild, and now you are here.
I assume we can collect our earnings upon our safe arrival back.
Yeah, I really don't know that. That's between you and your guild.
So,
This is how they screw us. Right here.
right. What can you tell us about this castle?
I don't exactly know, but some of the villagers say it's haunted, and it's just a legend that some old great king used to own it, and it's at the top of the mountain. If I'm not mistaken, the legend goes that the great king was once all powerful, and he spoke out against the gods, and they banished the mountain to be frozen forever. Blah blah blah. Stuff like that.
So nobody lives up there anymore, or at least nobody's supposed to.
No, I've never been there.
But as far as you're aware, no one's taken residence here. There's no townsfolk that we need to be watchful of or anything like that. Yo, Gavin, I don't know what you're clicking, man, but can you minimize
Oh,
that,
my
please?
bad.
The,
Yeah.
The best I can tell you is go see Crazy John. He's in or not. Go see Crazy John. He's in Theodore's. He's probably still there drinking right now. That would be my best guess.
Is there a reason we call him Crazy John?
Yes, that's because he sees ghosts, and ghosts aren't real. And he also has seen the dead walk, and that's not real either.
Are
He's
you
also-
sure about that?
Yeah, his house is also plagued with demons and other nonsense.
Let's just say.
Look, I'm
Ghost-
just saying, if your cat is possessed by a ghost and your dog is a talking demon, you've gone insane. So he's Crazy John.
but
That's our best source of information. The guy that rants. Yeah, I'll give it a
He's the
go.
one-
He seems interesting.
He's the one that always talks about the castle being haunted. He said he's been there before, and the dead were walking around, and that's where he picked up his demon dog and his ghost cat.
We'll go talk to him, I guess. As I pick up my sword and fix it to my back and walk past him out the door. Thank you for your hospitality. And I'll walk out.
So Fenris, he's like, yes. So good day. I am a very busy man, and I will see y'all on y'all's arrival. I'm sure the guard will let me know. And then he gives a nod to Clyde, and Clyde nods back. And so he leaves too. Then Clyde turns to the two of you left, and he says, hey, so look, when you get over to the night stay, ask for Chris. He can help you out. Crazy John's a little over and under, but if there is something on top of that mountain, Chris would know.
I shall ask for him.
I'm going to talk to Crazy Joe.
And we'll catch up some more, Uncle, upon my safe return.
He gives you a nod and kind of shoos you all out the door. If you don't leave now, you'll never leave. And I got work to do.
Take care, Uncle.
You too.
I say over my shoulder as I'm walking.
So y'all heading over to the inn, or y'all just going up the mountain?
I'm
I'm
already,
heading over to the inn.
I'm already sitting
Heading over
next to
to
Crazy
night
Joe.
stay.
What's that?
I'm sitting next to Crazy Joe.
No, Sean, what'd you say?
We'll head on over to the night stay.
All right. So y'all get over there, and you currently see he's not huge, but it's a pretty stout man, very broad shoulders, huge arms, giant beard gut, bald head, white beard, and he's currently dumping a bucket of water on some dude's face on the ground. And then he grabs the guy by the shirt and walks over to the door and kind of throws him out the door.
Is that Crazy Joe?
Aye, who's asking?
The name's Velas.
Hello, Velas.
We were supposed to talk to that guy about some ghosty things up on the top of the mountain.
Oh, God. He turns around and walks back to the bar.
Is your name Chris?
It is? Who's asking?
Velas.
What do you want, Velas?
Chaz, the blacksmith told. Well, no, never mind, I don't know that. I was supposed to talk to him. So, do you know anything about the mountain top thing?
I know a lot about the mountain. I go up there. Yes.
Lord Fenris asked us to investigate there, and he told us that talking to you or maybe Crazy Joe here would give us a little bit of insight before we headed on up.
I go up the mountain from time to time, clear my head. I go up there for a couple days at a time, and Yeah, I've seen some pretty weird things, but never picked up no ghost dog or whatever nonsense he's spewing.
Seen any monsters?
Oh, a lot. That's the whole reason why I go up there. Clear my head. Just said that.
You clear your head with a bunch of monsters?
There's no better way than in the thrill of the fight.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's like a feeling of euphoria when you're up against a ruthless monster. And, back in my heyday, I was the champion.
Well, when was the last time you were up there?
2 months ago.
Do you know how long that bounty's been on the bounty board?
Fairly recently.
Okay.
So probably about a couple days it was on the board before
Well,
y'all got it.
I think something else might be up there here in the pretty recent past.
Has there been any strange occurrences here within Thindlebrook as of late?
Yeah, there was some guards hired some mercenaries to go down and figure out what was going on in the sewers. They heard a bunch of strange noises. And these adventurers said that there was a Yeti down there. Even brought back a Yeti head upstairs. I don't know where the hell they got that thing and tried to scam those dumbass guards. And village to the north of here got attacked by some, they say it was werewolves and large white dire wolves. So I'd say if something was up on top of those mountains, so scary enough and monstrosity to scare off yetis and white wolves.
Well, let me ask you this: is the other town in between here and the castle, up at the top of the mountain?
No, the mountain's to the west. Like northwest. The town's to the northeast. So it's kind of, you could go up the road to the town and then cut back to the mountain. It's kind
Well,
of in an opposite direction.
How far is the town from here?
About a day's walk.
And how far is the castle?
I've been there before. So take you like 3 days to climb the mountain to get up to the top.
3 days
And you don't
to get up the
suppose
mountain.
there's any way that we could expedite that?
What, climbing the mountain?
Oh, I don't know. Any hidden paths that might be quicker?
Like climbing the mountain.
You might be able to. He kind of looks around the bar. Nobody's in there but y'all now. He just, if I wasn't so busy, I could show you myself. But, business around here is pretty heavy. I know a couple paths. Just kind of waves his hand through the bar. But we got so much work. Let me go get my gear.
Oh,
He kind of walks off to one of the back rooms. So y'all wait a couple minutes, and he comes back, and he's in some. You can definitely tell that he hasn't worn any armor in a while. Guts kind of poking out from underneath his breastplate and stuff, and he's like, "All right, I'll show y'all through the mountains. Once we get to my old trail and climbing ridge, I won't be any help. I can't climb those trails anymore. I'm fat and old, and sure y'all get there someday if y'all don't die on top of the mountain. Let's go."
Gavin, quit trying to get high.
What are you talking about?
I don't.
Clicking
I'm
metal
lighting a
over
candle.
there. You're just clicking metal over there, aren't you?
I'm lighting a candle.
How many times are you gonna try and light that candle there, bro?
This is a different candle.
Gavin, your clicky thingy shit needs to stop. You're
Literally
inhaling
just lighting a candle and
stop,
incense.
stop inhaling the incense, man. Stop inhaling the incense. You're gonna kill some brain cells or something.
Sorry. Tony, continue, please.
I decided to take another bite of my sandwich. Y'all go ahead. Now, so he starts showing y'all. Do y'all want to head to the town to the northeast, or take a detour, or y'all
Well,
want
what
to
do you
just
guys
head straight
think?
to the mountain?
Do we want to get more information, or do we just want to go to this castle that apparently has something that's way worse than Yetis and White Wolves?
Why not just go play with the White Wolves?
Because that's not what they hired us for.
Let's. We're supposed to inspect the castle, right?
We're supposed to eliminate whatever monsters are coming into the town.
Well, then we should probably start at the top and work our way down.
Well, we can't
Well,
start at the top.
the wolves were already exterminated. They massacred a couple townspeople, and some of them moved out. Not a whole lot of people staying in that town anymore. They were afraid that more animals were going to come off the mountains, so some of them hastily sold off some of their land. I actually bought a little bit myself. Thought the time was right.
So let's go start our way from the top and work our way down. It's probably the best thing to do.
Well,
All right.
Sure.
Because here's the thing: if what's coming down to these off the mountain is up in the top, then once we eliminate that threat, then all the other threats should slowly disappear.
I'm with you, but we can't really start at the top when we have to climb to the top from the bottom.
I know that'll be easy. I got
See?
old climbing paths. I could show you. Probably still got some ropes set up. Actually,
Work smarter,
something
not harder.
sometimes we'll have some adventurers come through and they want to go check out the haunted castle or whatever. I don't know if they ever find it or not, or if they even come back. But I do have some old stages from different hunters also pay me to show them the path to some hunting ground. We have different outposts set up throughout. You can probably find an old shack or two. And when it gets to the more difficult spots on the mountain, there's some ropes. Someone actually built a rope bridge not a couple years ago to connect some of the mountaintops.
Work smarter, not harder. Let's go.
Works for me.
All right. So who will be helping Chris lead the pack?
Bless.
Velas. So can you give me a survival check?
I was about to say, I could have. Never mind. Nope.
I would have suggested Lucky for that one. You know,
Probably
being
the-
all ranger.
The ranger.
Or, the ranger, the one that's supposed to do, rangy shit and use an arrow should be in the freaking back. Like y'all bitch at me all the time to do.
Yeah,
Well,
but
in
he does
combat.
have terrain bonuses.
Is
Yeah.
the coldness his terrain?
You are walking through a forest to get to a mountain.
I got a big
13?
whopping 13 for that shit.
Lucky, can you give me a survival check too?
Sure.
And this is a favorite terrain for him at the moment, right?
He doesn't have favored terrain. He's a revised.
Revised
all-
ranger.
Oh,
terrain.
revised rangers don't have favorite terrain.
No, all terrain is their favorite terrain. They just can't get lost by non-magical means, and they always know
Okay.
which direction they're going into, and they're not slowed down by difficult terrain. I think when
It's
it
actually the
comes-
whole group. It doesn't get slowed down by difficult terrain. As long
Yeah,
as you're
as
traveling
long
with
as-
me.
Yeah, as long as like you're leading the way.
Yeah.
And I think you can't get lost, right? Unless it is magical.
By magical.
Like-
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then what's that other thing you have? The instinct.
Oh. That is primeval awareness. Let's see.
Can you tell me what that does again?
Yeah. Let's see. It does a few different things. You have the innate ability to communicate with bees. I can basically kind of talk to them, tell them, persuade them not to attack. I can also find out if I have any favorite enemies nearby. By spending one uninterrupted minute in concentration, I can know if there's any of them within 5 miles. So,
Okay.
yeah, well, I'll wait till we get kind of towards the base of the mountain. but I'm probably gonna
All right.
pop that.
So it's about a mile to get from the town to the tree line, and this is when your survival checks come into play. And so he kind of looks around for a while, Christopher. He looks around for a while, and he just, I think it's over here. No, it's over here. Just kind of getting lost a little bit, and then Lucky and Zalas, y'all see a path that's clearly carved out at the start, and you're like, maybe it's over here, because he rolled a 3 on his survival check. So he finds he's like, oh yeah, yeah, I knew that. And he starts taking y'all through this path through the forest, and Lucky and Valis, y'all are pretty much on even terms, dodging branches and kind of like, oh, watch out for that pole hole. Oh, look at that's quicksand right there. And it takes y'all a good part of the morning to get here. You can definitely tell that the sun's directly above you. It's about noon when you'll finally get to the base of the mountain, where you start seeing that the terrain is starting to get a lot more rocky as you go up. And you actually see a cave at one point. And he tells you, just go through this cave. And on the other side of the cave, it's just a straight shot. It's a tunnel that me and Clyde dug many, many years ago. And it leads to an opening on the other side that has rope that'll take you 150 feet up. And then from there, there's actually a path that you can hop on. Do not stray off the path. And it takes you up to the top of the mountain. All the way. It's about a 10-mile hike once you get to the top of this rope. But this is where I'll be leaving y'all.
All right. Well, thank you for everything, for all the help.
Yes, we do appreciate your guidance.
He kind of stares at you for a while, Shadek. He just, I know you.
Do you?
You're Clyde's nephew.
You would be right.
Yeah, last time I saw you, you were a child. Anyway,
I apologize. I'm not sure I remember you, but
he
if what you
stands
were
up
saying
straight.
is correct, then
He stands up a little straighter and kind of pokes out his chest, and he says, "I'm." Oh, what did Clyde used to call me in front of? What is it? My name's Christopher Judge. I don't know if you remember me, and like you said, that you probably don't. But yeah, I've been Clyde's best friend for half of my life.
does it ring more of a bell whenever he says his full name?
Yeah, you would know stories that this guy was some type of gladiatorial champion, and Clyde always talked about how just strong he was. He was the strongest human he ever met, other than another dwarf.
I'm going to say through my telepathic bracelet to him, he was actually in the same adventurers group as Darius and everybody else.
I'm gonna say back, really? So then, I look at Christopher Judge and say, your name does sound familiar, and I think I do remember some bits and pieces about you. I assume the name Darius Silva would have some meaning to you.
They were in the silver band together.
Well, you see, he just gets this huge grin on his face, and he's just, yes. Yes, it does. He was another one of my adventuring parties members. I'm sure, you just had to jog your memory there for a minute.
When you said your full name, I remember Darius mentioning you. Not specifically, but your name was brought up in conversation.
Oh. Okay.
Not in a negative manner. He just was simply mentioning some of the names of his former companions back in his adventuring days, and your name came up.
So I guess I'm still famous. Well, you've brought a smile to this old man's day. Hope y'all have fun on y'all's adventure yourself. It's always good to see young blood in the game.
Yes, and do take care of yourself on the way back. Mr. Judge.
He pats you on the shoulder, and Lucky, he nods to you, and Valis, he nods to you, and he says, "Good day and well fortune." And he starts walking back down his trail, leaving y'all at the entrance of the cave.
So, within my 60 feet of dark vision, do I see anything inside the entrance of this cave?
120 feet of of superior dark vision. Do I see anything?
No, neither one of y'all see anything. Valis, you see like a glimmering light on the other end.
Oh,
You would expect that this tunnel might be about 100 feet long.
lovely.
Before we get started here, if you guys could give me just a moment, I'm gonna sit down and concentrate, and I will do my primeval awareness and see if there are any monstrosities within 5 miles of us.
All right, you're gonna have to give me a second to pull up the NPC sheet and just go to type monstrosity. All right, so any monstrosity within 5 miles?
Yep.
Yes.
This feature reveals which of your favorite enemies are present, their numbers, and the creature's general direction and distance in miles from you. There are multiple groups of your favorite enemies within range. You learn this information for each group.
Yeah, Tony. So, how many monstrosities are there within 5 miles?
17,999.25.
Guys, might need a little backup.
17,999 and a quarter monstrosities.
Hmm.
All right, so can you repeat that primeval, or where do I find primeval awareness in your thing?
I
Is it
don't know.
just in
I have it in a
Hunter?
Word document. Yeah,
It's just a ranger feature.
See, why isn't it showing up in your abilities? That should be like one of your features.
I keep it in a Word document of all the stuff I have, so I can just scroll through it pretty easily without having a bunch of stuff on my screen.
Primeval awareness. Okay, there it is. For 1 minute per level of
That's original Ranger, and that's not revised. Because the original Ranger, you have to use a spell slot to be able to use it. The revised, you don't.
Okay. So
I mean, if you want, I can just throw it in chat. I can just copy paste.
yeah. Can you post in Discord?
Sure.
And then so that way, because I just want to be able to give you proper numbers and everything.
Yeah, I'll just message it to you.
So is it? Because does it tell you exactly what type of monstrosity, or is it just a monstrosity?
Well, I don't know about the revised version, but I know the other version does just that it's a monstrosity.
Okay, so innate ability, communicate with beasts. They recognize you, blah blah blah, through sounds and gestures. You learn its emotional state now. Okay.
It's the second paragraph.
Yeah, you attune to your senses and determine any of your favorite enemies lurk nearby. So that's monstrosities.
Yep.
You can sense whether any of your favorite enemies are present within 5 miles. This feature is which of your favorite enemies are present, their numbers and creatures, general direction, distance in miles from you. Okay. All right. So you sense a good bit of monstrosities. You do sense a group of 6. So I don't know if it tells you exactly what type of monstrosity it is. That's what I was looking for.
No,
This
I
is
don't think it's posted.
which are your favorite enemies, but I can get multiple kinds of favorite enemies later on, so I think it just sticks
Right.
with monstrosities.
Yeah, so you get a group of 6, a group of 15,
Oh shit.
a group of 2. Okay, so the group of 6 is like to your. It feels like it's up the mountain and to the south. That's the group of 6. The group of 15 feels like it's up the mountain and like way far away from It's like right at 5 miles. There might be more. It kind of comes and goes, but it's like way on another mountain ridge. Because this isn't just like one set row of mountains. This is a couple rows of mountains, and you can assume that these 15 are like on another mountain. But there is 6 that's on the mountain range that you're at. It's just further down the mountain range, like because the mountain range runs north to south, and y'all are about right in the middle of the mountain range. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. So the group of 6 is about 4 miles south. The group of 15 is about 5 miles straight west of you on another mountain range. And then there's another group of 2 that's about 3 miles, or not 3 miles, but it's about a couple thousand miles above you to the very top of the, like closer to the top of this mountain.
1,000 miles.
1,000 feet.
Okay,
My
I
bad.
was about to say
It's in
it should
outer
only go for
space.
1,000 miles. It should only go for 5 miles, but like, good God. All right.
Yeah, it's
So yeah, they're on Mars.
Yeah, Tony, how many
right?
monstrosities are there in your entire
Now-
campaign?
there is. So as you focus, there is a couple more that come and go, but there is one that just, as soon as like the sense hits you, it just turns your stomach.
In a
And
way
it
that
just-
is familiar of anything I've dealt with before.
No, not really. It just feels like there is just like this evil sense that you get from just this one particular creature, and it feels like it's below you. Like way down below you, probably about a mile underground beneath you. And it just turns your stomach.
Just out of curiosity, did we ever find out like where that black dragon went? Do we know if it went in this direction? I knew it went to the mountains. I said that out loud to Shadek.
I don't believe we know. Unfortunately,
Well, I will
it could be
also
anywhere.
relay everything else that I sensed from that to everybody else.
Oh, you also sense a group of 37 in the forest, not in the mountain. And they are probably about a quarter mile away from where you are now.
Of 37.
Yep, 37.
So we don't
They
need
are
to go that way.
They are in the forest, not in the mountain.
Are they back in the direction that that Chris went?
No.
Okay.
They're like I would say it's so Thendlebrook is to the east of this mountain range, and Tarsus is to the west of the mountain range. So when y'all came through the mountain range, you went through a couple tunnels through the like underneath the mountain to get over here. There's a couple tunnel paths you could take. And you kind of get the idea that this 37 is like southwest of the town.
Okay. 37.
Yeah, well, it seems like everything's dispersed from the mountain to come down here, but I mean, they wanted us to kill the monstrosities, but it was the mayor himself that said we should go and investigate the castle. So maybe if we get rid of whatever in the castle, everything will start to rescind back into the mountain.
Perhaps there's something driving them away from the mountain.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Now, when you used your primeval awareness earlier, I thought I could have swore it said something about dragons.
Oh, excuse me. No.
See, because I thought you used it out in the swamp, and it said something about dragons.
Oh, that was back when I was a regular ranger. Things changed since then, because then that was when that I flipped to a revised
So-
ranger.
I'm gonna give you a couple of these monstrosities. Winter Wolves is the 15. It's off in the distance. The 37 are centaurs. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you those. So on another mountain range, there's winter wolves. There's a large number of them, and then there's a huge number of centaurs. But the evil thing that's underground, you don't know what that is, and you don't know what the other two are. It feels like it's up the mountain, quite a ways up the mountain.
Okay. Well, I guess, Velas, since you seem to be of dark elven descent, would you like
Yes.
to lead the way, since your ability to see in the dark is more advanced than mine and Lucky's?
Okay. Sounds fun.
Yeah, you
Guess
go
I'm
about
gonna
a.
lead the way.
I'm sorry, what's that?
Said I guess I'm gonna lead the way.
All right. Yeah, it's just a regular tunnel, about 100 feet down, 100 to 110, you can estimate. And then, sure enough, there's several ropes on the other end of this tunnel, and it looks like the ropes just go straight up.
Looks like there's nothing but up from here.
So if y'all are gonna climb the rope, this is just for speed. You're not gonna. I'm not gonna make you make like 17 athletic checks, but I just need everyone to give me an athletics check to get up the rope, and this is just purely for speed.
Athletics. That would be a
Nice.
0.
Oh, my bad. Athletics is climbing, isn't it? Yeah, I think athletics is the
Typically, athletics is for long distance climbing, where acrobatics can be used, but only for short distance climbing.
Yeah, this is 150 feet. So yeah, Valis and Lucky, y'all get up the rope.
But
Pretty fine. Yeah, Velas, especially with y'all's climbing gear, you can get up there with your climbing boots, and they're not climbing boots. They're like straps that fit over your boots with spikes on it, and y'all get up there pretty quick. Shading, you're having a rough time, man. Like you forgot to put on your boots. You got up like 20 feet, started slipping on all the rocks. You forgot to wear gloves. Yeah, so it's just taking you a little bit longer than the rest. But so Velas and Lucky, y'all are able to y'all finally get up about 150 feet, and you can definitely tell that there's snow at this point, and there's a clear path that leads just up the mountain. Now the snow, it's starting to snow up here, and the snow's getting real heavy. And y'all probably are y'all gonna wait on Shadek for a little bit?
Yeah, we can't just leave him behind.
Hey, you see, he finally gets up there, and y'all could definitely tell that it's pretty cold, and it's starting to snow. And as you can assume that as you start to get up the mountain, it's gonna get heavier and heavier. You already have y'all's cloaks on, I take it?
yes.
Okay. And Lucky, have you swapped over from your winter boots?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So as y'all start to go up this mountain, there is fuck man, you weren't even slowed down by difficult terrain, huh?
Nope. In fact, the entire group's not.
Oh my god, this is. Well, let me just throw this whole Word document in the trash. Fuck. Okay. So who's gonna be leading this? Lucky or Velas or Shadek to try and get up to the top of this mountain?
If we're not in the dark anymore, I'll take the lead.
That's fine. I'll be right behind.
All right, go ahead and give me a survival check. For your survival, is there a +1 right beside it?
Yeah.
Or okay, so that's with your dagger.
Yeah.
That increases your survival. Okay. All right. So it's, you know, Lucky, you would think this is harder. You've never really been in this snowy terrain, but it seems to come fairly easily. And even though Shadik was struggling back on the rope, he doesn't look like he's having that rough of a time either. And Velas is just calmly treading the path along with y'all. As you continue to climb and nothing really eventful comes, you find a couple slippery slopes and a couple patches of ice that you're able to detour around, and takes a little bit longer, but you find some easier paths. You see one section that looks like if y'all were to step in the wrong spot, then the whole side of the mountain could go crumbling down, but you're able to have one of them with your climbing gear spike down a couple ropes as anchors and take it across, and you're all able to traverse across some rope, leaving a couple strips of rope behind in your path. How much rope did you grab from the guild?
Whatever came in the whole mountain climbing set.
I think the mountain climbing set only comes with an anchor, but if you want to say that you grab more,
Yeah, because I mean, I just assumed it did because that was the main thing I was looking for was rope and pittons
Yeah,
and all that.
yeah. So what, you want like 300 feet or something, or 200 feet of rope, or?
Yeah, probably we'll split the difference. We'll say like 250, I guess. Whatever standard mountain climbing amount is. I don't know.
Yeah, let's just say you grab 200 feet of rope for you and Shadik, and so all of y'all have like an extra 200 feet of rope. But yeah, y'all are able to cut off a couple pieces and secure some lines so that way you could tell where all the rough terrain patches were, since you ignore difficult terrain like it wasn't even there.
Yep.
And yeah, you don't see the sun anymore. The sky's gone dark, and you've successfully led your party to a nice open clearing. Part where where this point of the mountain kind of plateaus, and it looks like it's relatively flat at this part, and it's nighttime. Y'all want to set up camp or keep going?
I think this is probably a good place to set up camp.
Look like it's pretty secure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
luck-
probably right here then.
Yeah,
I
Lucky,
will.
you're the expert, so you tell them.
I'll reach into my bag and take out Kravgrim's villa, and I will spend 10 minutes to set that up on the flat little spot.
All right. Yeah. Velas, you just see Lucky hunch down and concentrate on this little wooden figurine of a house, and after a couple minutes, it just poof blows up into a giant two-story. Well, not giant, but it's a little two-story house. Pops up from the middle of nowhere.
That's nifty.
Yeah, I think it comes in handy. Well, everybody in if you want to get out of the cold.
Yeah, I go in.
I'll go in.
Hey, question. Would this be a, since we're setting up camp, a decent time to take a bathroom break?
Yeah.
No,
Quick 5?
you can't.
Yeah, we can do
No,
it.
not allowed.
We'll go talk to Kelsey what she wants to do for dinner.
Yeah, everybody else can take 5 except for Gavin. I expect you to be back in 2 minutes.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Well, no. Tell him 2 minutes because then he'll actually be back in like 6.
I mean, I'm just going to the bathroom and then grabbing a snack and a beer. So
Yeah, like I said, it'll take
I'm
about 10 minutes to come back.
Hey, you know what? I will be back at 8:51. All right. So yeah.
Excuse me.
No, who else is back?
I am.
Yeah, I set up so much stuff for the climb, the mountain climb, and everything. Like I was like, oh yeah, like this is gonna be such difficult terrain. There's gonna be like a bunch of rocky paths. I completely forgot that you just ignore all of that shit.
Yeah. Where the revised
Guess
ranger
who's
really
back
comes
in
into play.
5 minutes?
What were you saying, Sean?
So that's where the revised ranger really makes their time to shine, man.
Yeah, I know.
Supposed to take us 3 days to get to this mountain. We're gonna make it up in like half an afternoon.
Y'all are still a ways off. Can you? How often can you use primeval awareness?
There's no limit to it. I just had to take a minute to sit down and concentrate on it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of the trade-off, I guess. Because the old ranger, you had to use a spell slot, but then you could track more things with it. That's how I could like know if there were dragons around. And then with the revised ranger, it's just your favorite enemy. But you can, it just takes a minute to set up and just concentrate as if I was casting a spell. But it doesn't take a spell slot or anything. There's no limit to the number of times I can use it in a day.
Yeah, I think is Brandon back yet?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so we're all here.
All right. So y'all all ready?
Good to
Yeah.
go.
All right. Well, y'all just spawned up your house. So y'all let me know what y'all are doing.
I go in and I find. I mean, are there beds or is it just an empty house?
Yeah, there's 2 floors. Y'all should have Krovgrim's Villa as saved as one of your hotkeys. If you don't, I could share the house with you again.
Yeah, share it.
Okay.
So I can.
And I don't want to take away from y'all's RP time, so if y'all want to say something to each other, just go ahead, interrupt me.
Okay. Hey, Valis.
Velas, yes.
Sorry, what was it? Velas?
Velas.
Velas.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Hey,
How
so
can I help you?
how long have you been
Lucky?
with the Silver Shield, man?
A few years now.
2 years. So do you like it?
It's done me well
I mean, is that your plan? Stay with the Silver Shield?
as well.
Going with that until
For now.
you reach retirement?
Well, I I have other goals.
Yeah, like what?
Some personal things I choose not to speak of. y'all, I've only known y'all for a short time. I don't need y'all to get the wrong idea.
Just trying to get a good impression of you. Speaking
I
of,
won't. I
Oh, yeah.
won't kill you in your sleep if that's what you're trying to figure out.
I wasn't even thinking that, but thanks for putting that in my head. Anyway, I'm gonna want to play some dice. Anybody want to play some dice?
I'll play some dice with you.
I will join you, Lucky.
Hey, Shadik. Hey, any thoughts on who you want to make your little bracelet attached to?
Wait, do I have one of those bracelets?
He didn't get a bracelet. He got the lucky egg necklace.
Oh, I thought there was 2 bracelets. Oh, so it's 2 lucky eggs. Gotcha. I was the
Yeah.
only one that got a bracelet. Ah, I'm with you now. Disregard. My bad. I thought you also got a bracelet. Okay. Well, Shake, what's your plans, man? What do you think after we get back?
Honestly, I am hoping that further actions will reveal themselves. But for starters, I feel like we should finish this, take a day or so, and go on another mission. Honestly,
Well, I will tell you this. The guild does warn you about going on mission after mission after mission after mission. It tends to bog you down sometimes.
Well, as long
I'm
as I
aware.
can get a good hunt in every now and again, I'm happy.
But honestly, Lucky, I don't really know what the next step is after this point.
Well, as long as we get to do some traveling and I can see the world, I'll be happy. And, the hunt thing. Well, let's get to some dice.
So,
Fine by me.
Shadik, you find in your bag some fresh onions, some fresh potatoes. Like it's like this brown sack. It has a little slab of meat, probably about a pound and a half of meat, wrapped up in some paper, and it's stuffed in with these onions and potatoes and like a small little baggie full of spice. And there's a note from your uncle. You find it in your haversack. There's a note from your uncle that says, "Dear nephew, please take care in making your next masterpiece. Don't make it suck like everything your father's made, except for you. Love, Clyde."
I give a little chuckle, and I look at them and say, anybody have any culinary leanings? As I toss the bag over to Lucky.
I mean, somewhat, but I do have some cooking tools.
Want to be Chef Lucky tonight?
I will give it a try. And I will reach in my bag and take out my cook's utensils that I bought.
Okay, so Sean, I need you to explain to me how you're gonna cook this food, because I know from what you Sean have told me that you're not that culinarily artistic. So I'm
By
gonna
the
need
way,
from you to tell me
I
how
have
this
some Panda
works.
Express on the way as we're saying this right now, because I sure as hell ain't cooking. So
I was afraid
Lucky will take
it.
out his phone and look up Uber Eats, and he will order a pizza.
As soon as you do that, you hear the doorbell, ding dong, and then your ring goes off on your phone, and there's a Yeti at the door. Roll initiative.
Son of a bitch.
There's a Yeti at the door.
I swear to God. This is how we all die, guys.
At least they had the decency to, ring the doorbell.
And I just like barge through the door.
Oh, that soup sucks.
Oh, that was my initiative.
Wow, that music sure did get loud just then. All right.
But yeah, I'll try and do some cooking. Make some porridge.
Yeah. It's pretty simple. Like, if you just dice up the onions and the potatoes and just dump it in a pot full of water, and then you just dump the whole sack of seasoning in there with the meat. And just
Yeah, that's exactly what I
let
would
it boil
do,
for a minute.
without a doubt. Or
Yeah,
even reach in my pocket and I'll take some maple bacon and I'll crumple that up and I'll put some bits of bacon in it.
Yeah, that sounds delicious.
And I would like
Game,
to add
bacon.
my 2 cloves of nightshade to the stew. No, I'm just kidding.
I will make 4 bowls of porridge.
4.
Yeah, I'll make
Why do we
4.
need 4? There's only 3 of us.
Yeah, it's stew.
Can
Porridge
I
is
add
like
my
oatmeal.
centipede venom to the
If you want to.
No, I'm good.
I'm gonna check
I
out
will
my.
say I have 3 pounds of mixed vegetables on me. I would add another pound of vegetables.
Okay.
I'm gonna take out my MRE.
Just keep in mind, fellas,
Take some
we have
boiled water. And
multiple days on this
porridge.
journey, so let's be a little conservative. But yeah, I'll make 4, and I'll set one out to the side, and then I'll
would like
give
to-
everybody else a bowl.
I would like to add my scroll of Zone of Truth to the stew.
All right.
like
Well, so the stew is done. Scroll, nightshade. Everybody take a sip of it, right? And,
no.
I mean,
And
if we're
we all
putting in
die.
random things, I got all sorts of random things I can put in there, but
we don't
we'll
have that
hold
much
off.
time. No, I've seen your inventory. We don't got that much time.
Throw some
I'd like to
Eldritch
add
Blast
some,
in there.
I'd like to add some black powder to this stew.
All right. So the stew's done. It tastes delicious. I assume you got the water from the hot tub. I don't know where you got it, but you got it. And or you could just
Melted some snow.
some snow.
Some sued? We got sued?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, that's in the stew. We're all tripping
So,
balls now.
are y'all gonna take shifts? How y'all are doing? How are y'all doing this?
Just a quick question. I will leave the other bowl out there, and you'll everybody hear me say this. Just like, this is for you, Guinevere. If you want to join us, and then I'll just go back to eating.
Who? Wait, what? Hold on. There's something else in here?
No,
Then what was that name you just said?
Guinevere.
Okay, who is that?
It's another friend of mine.
What languages do you speak, Valis?
All of them.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I speak every language.
Well, you can read every language. You can read any written language for your warlock.
Eyes of the Runekeeper. Yep.
The Runekeeper.
Yeah,
Hold on.
but
Let me go.
So you should know Underdark. That's one
Yes.
of your. You should know Common and Underdark and Elvish.
Common, Elvish, Underdark, and then I get to pick one of my
Undercommon.
exotic language.
Yeah, Undercommon.
And then I haven't picked my
Yeah, your other
exotic
language.
my exotic language yet. But yeah, I know Undercommon.
Okay. So Guinevere in Elvish means shadow. So you would know that.
So there's a shadow in here. You call him Shadow, correct?
Call her Shadow. I call her Guinevere.
You know what that means? You know that means shadow in Elven.
I know it's her name, so that's what I call her.
Oh, so it's a she. So what is it?
Friend of mine, but if she wants to introduce herself, she will. But otherwise, she doesn't like it when I talk about her too much then. So, let's play some dice.
Alright, yeah, I played dice with him for a little bit. And at some point I'd start talking about So let's talk shifts. I volunteer for first watch. That's always been my preference. Just
Okay.
go ahead and get it out of the way, so I no longer have to worry about it for the rest of the night.
Okay.
I'll take second or third. I don't mind.
Or y'all could sleep.
I'll just say I'll take second shift. How about that?
Would I know that elves don't have to sleep, or no?
They still have to sleep.
They
To a
enter a
certain extent.
trance. It's
Yeah,
a
but
semi-conscious state, but
No,
Yeah,
it's not that. It's fucking my thing. Oh wait, no, I don't have.
are you a coffee lock?
Yeah, I was about to say coffee lock.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep, I'm a coffee lock. I don't have to sleep.
yeah, you still gotta enter into a trance.
Nope,
So you still
not as a
gotta-
warlock.
Yeah, this is a warlock thing, not an elvish thing.
Warlock's
Okay.
not sleep. It's one of my pact thingamajiggers.
What does it say?
It's the pack of it's a pack of the tome. Fucking shit. Fucking
Wow, that's what
bullshit.
it says. Jesus, that's one hell of a pack.
Okay.
I gotta find.
Fucking shit, fucking bullshit.
Pack of the
Fucking
Tourette's. Anyhow,
Oh,
hey, I'm gonna step away for a quick minute. My food's getting here, so y'all can figure that out. But I'll be right back.
Hold on. Hold on. Here it is. Hold on. I'm trying to get to
Are you
it.
Pact of the Tome?
Yeah, Pact of the Tome, and then it's friggin' Aspect of the Moon. It's in Xanar's Guide to Everything. Hold on. Means I don't have to sleep.
Oh yeah. You no longer need to sleep. You can't be forced to sleep by any means. To gain the benefit of a long rest, you can spend all 8 hours doing light activities, such as reading your Book of Shadows and keeping watch. So I'll say from that 8 hours, it is 4 hours for being an elf. So yeah.
I still don't have to sleep.
Yeah. No. But you have to spend 4 hours doing a light activity.
Yeah, which is just like keeping watch.
Yeah. Yeah. So you still don't have to sleep.
Yep. So I just tell them like, y'all can go to sleep. I don't sleep. It's okay. Y'all get some rest.
I have severe insomnia.
I'll take watch on all
for the
shit
whole night.
for the whole night. Whole night. I got it. Don't worry. I'll be up anyways.
Well, if you insist.
It's not a problem. And
I,
I'll pull out my Book of Shadows, and it gives me time to stay with my thoughts.
I am going to hand him a half pound of berries and tell him these are very plump and delicious, and you will enjoy snacking on them over the night.
Thank you. Shade. Yeah, he's just gonna kind of go with his thoughts and talk a little bit inside his head and figure out what the fuck we're doing here. So,
Yeah. So like we totally skipped. Like I figured would be an hour and a half of y'all trying to climb and scale this mountain. Literally after we went over the whole ignore terrain and all that, I just closed out of an entire Windows Word browser thing document because I was telling Sean I had so much planned on the travel.
That you weren't expecting us to get this far,
No, I expect y'all to get this far.
but not this soon.
Yeah. But like there's like
So you have like nothing planned at the current moment.
yeah, I have plans, yeah. I mean I already know what's gonna happen. Well, I don't know exactly what's gonna happen, but there's just a lot of stuff that y'all skipped over. Like for all the rocky terrain and difficult terrain and everything.
Go, go, Ranger.
Yeah. Completely I don't know how I forgot about that, but
So yeah, Velas is just gonna sit there and talk to himself and be like, "So, is this the plan? Should we be here? What's do you I mean? Do you know much about this area? Yes? No.
I personally. Oh, I didn't realize you were talking to me. No, I
Oh,
personally do
no,
not.
I wasn't talking to you. It's okay. I talk to the voices inside my head a lot.
I
It's alright.
see. Now, you know I'm a doctor, so if you have ever need anyone to talk to, you can always talk to me.
I think I'll be okay with talking to the voice inside my head. He's
Yeah,
a lot more powerful than
usually-
you are.
The voice inside your head is usually not the best person to speak to. You absolutely should not do what they say.
Even though they're more powerful than you are and could kill you in a snap.
It's a voice, so it's really not much of anything.
Uh-huh. Well, I said it's a voice inside my head. Doesn't mean that the voice is not real.
Uh-huh. Again, just if you ever need anyone to talk to, perhaps I could prescribe a tincture to you that might help treat your symptoms. With
would
the proper
you
ingredients, of
prefer
course.
a lobotomy of sorts? I am very skilled in the lobotomy arts. I have my ice pick right here with me to this day.
Do you?
I actually will make that joke. You know we have this climbing
Shadek,
equipment.
I have a question for you, Shadek.
Yes.
Do you know how Dark Elves become a part of this world?
I always assumed they were born, just as any other creature was.
We aren't born. We're created. And sometimes... Oh, hold on. But yes, we are created.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Yes, sometimes other things could happen. You know what a warlock is, right?
I know that you devise magic from a greater being.
Now think about the voice inside my head. Okay, Tony, would you rather me type this or speak this?
You can speak it if you want. That's up to you.
So, Artemis, who is he?
I do not know. The name is new to me.
I know who he is. Where's Lucky?
Who's crowning?
Right here.
Lucky, come here. You know what a warlock is, right?
Probably. I'm assuming,
Well,
yeah.
We get things from a higher being, right? And there's something that I should tell you. Now you can't tell anybody else.
He has voices inside his head.
No. You know we call what our greater power is a patron, correct?
I call my greater power a god.
Well, they are God. But they're our patron. Well, when I was created, as all dark elves are, something happened when I was created. 2 souls got put into one body. So my patron is inside of my body.
And how? I imagine this patron isn't content to always take the back seat. What if this patron were to ever gain control of your body?
We have a simple understanding. Don't worry. We've been doing this a while. But I know apparently the castle on top of the mountain was the person inside it was King Artemis. King Artemis was not only the king of all lands he could see from the top of the mountains, he was also a paladin of great feats. Lore books apparently tell tales from healing the small wounds to healing the blind. Some say he even brought back the dead. This is what my voices inside my head are saying.
Does your voice have a name?
He does.
Are we allowed to know it? I mean, it seems kind of odd to keep referring to it as voice.
He could tell you if you wanted to. Do you want to tell them your name? Yes? No? Hold on, God is typing.
Yeah, y'all don't hear anything when he's like, "Do you want to tell him your name?" Y'all
guess.
hear wind.
No, I'm asking that, like, and I was waiting for a response.
Yeah, they don't hear anything.
Okay, I know, but I'm waiting to hear something in my head.
Oh, yeah.
You want me to tell them your name? And apparently,
So
the
again,
king
back
broke
to
all
that
oaths. The king broke all oaths to his deities, swearing and cursing their names as he set out on his new crusade to slaughter all who participated in these acts against him. It is said that the war shook the lands for years to come. The once peaceful paradise grew cold as winter struck the lands, increasing the flowing rivers and lakes in ice. Feet of snow falling on the plains. And Tony, please tell me his name again. And you can go ahead and say it out loud. Because he's going to say it.
Fistandanthus.
Fistandanthus is his name.
Try saying that 10 times twice. Or 10 times fast.
That is his name.
I'm
Shady.
gonna assume I've never heard of that.
If any of y'all are proficient in history or arcana, you may make a history or arcana check.
Nah, because I'll just say I wouldn't because we're kind of seclusive. Especially
I mean,
religiously.
I'm proficient in history.
Then make the check.
That's a 24.
Pretty sure I just misspelled lobotomy.
I private messaged him when I know how to make a medicinal tonic for treating psychological disorders.
Son of a bitch.
A 24. Fistandanthus. I'm gonna say that's just you catch you know the name. Where? Not very sure where you've heard it from. Somewhere along the rumors of like a powerful wizard, powerful magic user. Probably heard it from your wife's teaching, learned, the college that she went to for the arcane arts. She probably went over it, mentioned it once or twice. You've heard, you know that you've heard the name before, and that it was a magic user, but there's not much else that you know of about him.
Okay. So I assume a lower roll, it just would have been I've never heard of him at all.
Yeah, that's above a 20. So you've heard of him, and you know he's what used to be a powerful mage, but yeah, it just wasn't high enough as I wanted.
Okay. I mean, I couldn't have rolled much higher, but as long now I can say at least I've heard of him. So
But yes, it's the voice inside my head.
Well, you can tell him that Lucky Cloud says hi.
He already heard you.
I
All right.
say you can tell him that his mother is a centaur. No, I don't say that.
So, well, guys, I think this is where we're gonna leave it off for this week. I apologize we didn't get in any combat or anything spectacular. It was kind of
No, it's all good. And
Like-
I like the direction that this is going. I like adventure arcs. So
like I said before, an entire Word document literally went minimized or closed out, and then I dropped it in the trash can because somebody just
ignores
ignores.
difficult
See, because
terrain.
I was thinking, oh yeah, they're gonna be at the top of a snow mountain. His favorite terrain is a forest. Boom, we're gonna have an awesome mountain climbing thing. Now, nah, I'm a revised ranger. I ignore all difficult terrain. So there's
My
that.
bad.
No, it's all right. It makes it even more fun. Like that just means going forward, I don't have to waste time planning all that stuff. I can just be like, oh, you want to go to the top of the mountain? Boom, top of the mountain. We'll skip all that bullshit next time.
Yeah, it does make it nice to have to not have to worry about terrains and a whole bunch of other shit and getting lost and all that shit because it doesn't
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, and then it explicitly states, cannot be lost, and that boggles my mind. Like, just cannot get lost.
And you had this whole thing planned for the possibility of us getting lost in a
Yeah,
blizzard, basically.
Yeah, like in a blizzard or like rocks, slippery rocks where you slide back down halfway down the mountain, maybe break a leg or something. Like, dude, the possibilities are endless in mountain climbing. So much things can go wrong so fast.
And
Unless
now
you're a revised ranger, then
In
almost
case, nothing goes
can
wrong.
go wrong. Unless there's
Nothing
like a
goes wrong
yeti
with you.
throwing snowballs and boulders down on you.
Nothing goes wrong to you or your entire party. Congratulations.
Yeah. And then if he concentrates for a minute, then he'll know that there's a yeti 100 feet above him throwing rocks, about to throw a rock down on him. But so I also wanted to end it kind of early tonight because I really want to talk about Monster of the Week.
Yes.
If y'all give me a minute.
Oh, well, by the way, I gotta say this because I was looking into it more the other day.
Yeah.
I already know what character I want to play in that.
I'm
Okay.
gonna be the Celestial.
Well, let me go and ask you this. Are we done with the campaign? Because I'll go and kill the stream if that's the case.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless there's anything else that y'all want to add or talk about,
Do I get any more proficiency with games since we're playing games all night?
you know what, Lucky, just add proficiency with games, okay? Just
Nice.
add it. Just go ahead and add you're proficient with dice. I'm gonna take the stuff that I sent. Oh, fuck me. That's not what I want. Okay. I'm gonna add the stuff to the Tony's lore campaign from what I just texted him. And then yeah, okay.
So I'm on the Monster of the Week website right now, but I can't find where to look at like the classes or anything like that.
No, you don't go there. You go to where I posted it in general chat. Or no, I think I posted it. Yeah, I think I posted it in general chat. Go there and find out the link that I was talking about.
How far up should that be?
Um,
Probably ways the fuck up here.